Hello, and welcome back to some programming. Hope everyone's having a good day so far. Hope everyone is having a good one. We're back at it again. I have been going through the motions of this thing. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by cat. Right, and getting distracted by this bug that I still don't understand why it occurs on my phone, but there we go. Alright. By the way, I remembered to actually set up Twitch on my phone yesterday. That was, so I looked at the app and holy shit, it looks fucking horrendous. How do you people use that thing? I swear to God. But yes, can I talk about the thing that I've been, like, plucking away at for so long at this point? I finally fixed it. And it's like one of those things that you guys are just not gonna realize how big a deal this was for me to get sorted. But you're gonna, it's one of those, if you didn't experience it, you would not give a shit. Like, I cannot stress enough how little it matters to you. So before, when you'd go to the mirror, if you click here like that, it'll spawn you there. But what it would do is if you used back, it would leave you at the same position. It wouldn't reset your position, and technically your position's actually set to over here, so we can get the better mirror positioning. Fun little fact. Back button wouldn't do that, now it does, and yeah. That took a lot of effort. So I'm actually quite happy with that. So yeah, no longer you click booby and you click back and you get stuck is the big one, because he is, like, I think my tallest character. Which is actually really funny if you think about it, because yeah, booby is, so like Iron Mouse horns come up to about Booby's eyes, and these are like chibi-fied characters, so that's just kind of funny. So that's a big thing. I also went through and loosely did all of the EXs and assists with the change to how we're doing the descriptions. Have not, however, done that for passives and abilities, and that's what we're gonna kind of chunk away at now. There's a couple of things I also need to fix while I'm doing this, because there's a bunch of old code in some locations, because there's one item, for example, I haven't actually done, and that is Grandfather's Deck, and that's because that one's just super messy because it's still this code. Which, again, to stress, this is how I construct most of my, like, weapons and items and all that. This is how I originally did it. This is a far worse system because of how manual it was. Because as you can actually see here, one of its biggest failures is that it's actually got hard written rules of what it is, which can be good, can be bad, but because of the variable nature of how we've got this, this just didn't work. It just didn't work very well at all. Ironically enough, we do have the ability to go through all of these and just trim them down if we want to. Which is something that could be done eventually, but honestly it's kind of like, it's in that almost too late category to fix that issue. I would fix that issue if I had, like, a substantial amount of time to ensure that I wouldn't, like, I would be able to clean up the everything correctly. But it's just not really worth it anymore. And it pretty much, what it means is like a slight processing change, and we're talking like unnotable, almost like unnoteworthy amount of processing towards that. It would actually probably be storage more, and even then, you're talking like bytes difference if I fixed it all. So it's one of those ones where I should, but for now, it's not needed to be done. We don't need to go, shit, we need to sort this out now, before it's too late. So it's something that I'm just kind of like basically being lazy about, and that's why I haven't done this yet, because I'm just like, before I do that, I feel like I should at least fix the variables. And we do have this issue as well with some abilities, because of how fragile they were. Specifically, I think it's Helpful Rambit Aura's passive. Yeah, because I didn't fix Aura's ones. Ram Snakes is easy enough to transfer over. But Helpful Rambit, shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, it shouldn't be too hard to transfer this over to the new architecture. I just have to be careful because Helpful Rambit is on the edge of a dime of how it's like functioning, and it does require a bit of an overhaul soon because I want to change a few things about it and give it some visual improvements is the main thing. Because yeah, it's a bit of an ability that I really love. I think it's very flavorful and very cool, and tells me personally that I really like the idea of doing more summon-orientated things. And I'm just slightly upset with myself that I don't have more, is the short answer. I also felt that, like, because I think I talked about this before, so when I'm making a character, there's two aspects that go into, like, two key aspects that go into the design of them. And I can probably define it really quickly and easily. So when designing the characters, so say I've got X VTuber here. X VTuber. Right? We're not going to say who, we're just going to use it as a general term. So this is a VTuber. We have a VTuber. When I'm approaching the problem, I have to look at them from two perspectives. So, how do I showcase the character? How do I showcase the VTuber? And how do I make them fun? Like, so these are the two big things that go into it. And Helpful Rambit, I think, is the perfect, like, middle point for these. Where it's like, you got all the silliness of the craziness and all that sort of stuff with how Rambit is, and how Aura uses them for the streams, how he's a chatbot and a bit of a mascot and all these sorts of things. It's great. And how Aura works in the game is that she's very focused on her EX, on getting her main weapon leveled up, and just kind of utilizing the fact that, like, she has a bit of a weaker early game, has a good mid-game spike with her EX being spammable, and then has a massive spike late game with her weapon being one of the best, right? And then you can cover all of her bases by the end as well. Rambit is my way of going, look, I'm giving you all of this cool mid and late game. I'm going to give you someone to be there to babysit you in the early game. That's it. Because keep in mind, Rambit gives a pretty decent shield. Goes, picks up, drops. Oops. And then also does small knockback. So the flavor of it is genuinely... Rambit is there to, like, just be your helpful Rambit. There to get you through that early game as an ally. Just help you out the best it can. And then, I'm gonna be honest, there's a reason why I've not, like, given it in good scaling. If we actually look at the stats for it, leveling it up's not that great. It's only got 3 levels as well, which, inherently speaking, in a lot of context in this game, if it's only got 3 levels, it's probably going to be a huge early game thing, or it's going to have a lot of, like, conditional power. It's kind of how we've approached things, I feel, pretty consistently. And Rambit is like, what? He currently gets a total of +4 damage from 2 levels. He doesn't even get a full 100% damage increase. But he gets 100% damage, shield increase. And those are the only things that actually, scale. And I don't think I'm actually going to change that. I don't think those stats are wrong. I think that's exactly on point. He is there to give you a shield from time to time. Like, the fact that, if I recall correctly, its state duration is every 10 seconds. So roughly about every 20-ish seconds, you'll get shields. But every 35 seconds as well, like if you drop below a threshold, it will immediately give you a shield. So it is there just to give you that little push. A really good late game build, especially on a character like Aura. I genuinely do not see you activating Rambit's shield emergency system on the late game, like in the late game at all. Outside of like 1 or 2 like scary times. And at those points in time, I don't think it's gonna save you that much. Like, it might give you that last little buffer you need, but like a 200 shield, so it's a 200 heal. If we look at the game, that is, for a lot of characters, for Aura, that is a fifth of her health, her base health. I heal you for a fifth of your health in the late game, and it's a flat value. It's a fifth of your base original health. And I'm gonna be honest, Aura's health is gonna go down, like quite a bit, to make her early game just that little bit more difficult. She's also intended to be one of the characters with really low armor, because again, it's not that I want it to be hard to play, it's that I want her to be like very rewarding to play. Because if I look at my characters, my 3 main mascots, I would argue at the moment, are Iron Mouse, Aura, and Juniper. Juniper is a perfect example of incredibly good across the board. Just at no point in the game I don't think Juniper is decent, and she scales pretty insanely. Iron Mouse is just nice and consistent. She has probably one of the better early games, but her late game is very structured. Like, if you want it to be good, you have to kind of build a very particular way. And then in contrast, we've got Aura, which is like, hey, I'm giving you late game power out the wazoo, like mid game and late game power. Your early game is going to be your weakness. So that's kind of like my 3 stature characters. Now, don't get me wrong, we've got characters that are just really good early game and they're designed to get you ahead enough. Okay, this is something I think is going to confuse some people. I take a philosophy of old Juggernaut is actually a good thing. Now, people might not understand what I mean by that. Old Juggernaut from Dota 2. Juggernaut from Dota 2 has always been horrendous in his late game. Like, he doesn't scale. Okay, let's just... Don't save. So, he doesn't scale very much. He's all about flat values in pretty early game. The point of him is that, so like as most carries, so let's say this is our chart of time in the match to power, native power level. Right? So while most carries in the game will have kind of a curve that has this, if I switch to red to show Juggernaut, he has a curve that's a lot more like this. So he gets that peak way earlier, but he doesn't go up as high. Why is this good? Doesn't that mean, why would I play Juggernaut if the games do tend to go quite long? Which they do in Dota. Well, that's because there's another value that needs to be considered. So if I take a, say this is light blue here, we're going to use this to show power level based on items, which again is very similar. When you take in consideration, now realistically, actually, it's not going to be like that. It's going to be more like this with items, because you're going to hit that one item spike and it's going to be insane. With Juggernaut, it means that these spikes happen earlier. So while his innate power means that he's not going to get thing, it means he's getting these spikes far earlier. Why is that good? That means you can, if you're doing well with him with this power, you can stay ahead long enough that it means you get to full build and cap out your power strength and all that sort of stuff much earlier and keep a dominance on the thing. It means you can take more objective control, more map control. If you have a goodish team as well, this is way more potent, because anyone that knows how MOBAs work understands that map control is actually very valuable. If I told you that like the outer turrets of a game in one of these sort of games, they're taken more consistently with this character than that character, you're actually probably going to look at that character more. I'm not going to say that that's what's the case in here, but that's just, that is the thing. They have changed their perspective though, Valve. So now they've tried to make, they've attempted a lot of things to try and make Juggernaut scale, so they've actually lowered his power. And raised his ceiling, which I just don't like, because again, his ceiling was being ahead. So, as an example with this, the best character I actually have for a really solid example of just being ahead is Vox. Vox is really good early, and he scales to his peak potential very quickly. He is not an insanely powerful character, but he gets to his power ceiling very, very easily. Why is that good? Well, that just simply means that you can invest your resources in different locations much earlier. Right? Which isn't that a good thing? If I can just go, you know what? Get this faster, get this easier. Sweet. I love that. So that's kind of the perspective I have on that. I know it's a very weird one, but like I actually do... I want to stress, the reason why I'm even going in and expressing these sorts of things and like explaining through this reasoning is because I find it very important to recognize where you get your ideas from and how you consider them. Because at the end of the day, someone can disagree with me that plays the game, and that would be fine. You might go, well, no, Vox is really bad early. He needs to scale, like he's got this and that. And it's like, look, if this is what my fantasy is for the character and it's not being met, then clearly I need to do something. Because that's the thing is, if I go over Vox's kit, a lot of his stuff is 2 levels, or like 3 levels total. And the increases are pretty minor. Like, you actually get the majority of his power pretty much right from the get-go. Like the fact that this is probably the best example. So King of ASMR is you're increasing the damage the enemies take and slowing them when they're next to you. How does this level? The area increases. It goes from at base 2 to a total of 3 area multiplier to the sprite. That is it. That's not a big upgrade, is it? In fact, it's a very small upgrade. Okay, what about his ability? Same argument here. What this does is it has a chance of dropping items. What is increased with the thing? Let's have a little look-see. So, if we take into consideration that we're starting from here, the heal is increased by 1 and the damage buff is increased by 0.1. So it doubles in healing, and it triples in damage buff. So 30% damage buff. The healing probably actually does need to come up, by the way. I can do that now. This can probably be turned to like 20 and 10s. I don't think I'm going to change the kind of ratio that it has here. So now that's 40 health you get from picking those up, which is still not that much, but it's enough to kind of like help push you a little bit over what you might have had before. And keeping in mind, it has a 5% chance to drop. This is the strength of Vox, is that early on, he is pretty much at his power peak pretty, like, very, very easily. His main weapon as well, like, I'm gonna be honest, I still think his weapon is actually one of the stronger ones in the game for getting through earlier confrontations. Once you get at like 2 or 3 levels, it's good. It's very good. But I don't think it's, like, I don't know if it's the best weapon in the game by argumentative sense, because it has a lot of weaknesses, and overall, even in the late game, it's gonna actually not do insanely well. Like, once it gets to a specific point, there is actually a chance it gets overwhelmed, which is interesting. Now, I kind of want to potentially open that up even more than it currently is, so it is actually a bit weaker late game, but better early. And again, that rationale comes to the whole argument of, because The best case scenario with Vox is you get him strong fast, and then use that strength to go and dedicate your resources in other locations earlier and faster to just utilize, to leverage that advantage. It's something I've actually seen with a lot of these games that I find fascinating is how, like, so if we look at Vampire Survivors, you didn't actually want to universally pick up the crown, the EXP amplification. But you did want EXP amplification. So you would find as many sources as you could outside of that, because you didn't want to often sacrifice a slot for crown. However, one of the best evolutions in the game is the Pentagon one, which is the crown orientated. So that becomes like a kind of a point there to be made. And arguably one of the best items in holocure is the glasses. If you get it before a specific point, it is actually really, really good. I think it's about 7 minutes was the average calculation for it, I believe. And it's really important for keeping that in mind. So, in most of these games, regardless of your character, consistently getting the EXP item is really good and better, because it means that you can get more of your options done, it gets more resources, yada yada. It's not that I want to avoid that, but I want to offer alternatives. That's why I say, like, Vox is good, because if you manage to get one of those EXP items early, great. If you don't, cool, you can still leverage your early game into a mid and late game. Even though, keeping in mind, the majority of the time, we're talking, when we say, like, early mid game is supposed to be like the first 3 or so minutes. Mid game is the next 3-ish minutes, and then late game is maybe the next 3 minutes after that. So, like, each stage of the game, I'm kind of aiming to be like a bit of 3 to 4 minutes. Like 3 to 5 minutes, actually, maybe is probably a better estimate. Which is why I do think the current pace of the game is wrong. And there is something that needs to be done there. But that's one of those, like, I need to spend an extreme amount of time testing at some point to get that done. Alright, so, now that I've yapped on for as long as I have, it's about time I actually start getting some of this done. Speed by no, I could probably get away with an increase. Value 5 %. Cool. That should be all of that done. Oh, as you can see, I'm getting faster and faster at like writing these out and the way to do them. It's become like there's a point in time where you just start getting as speedy as you can with it, right? Because I stand by, like, in the nicest sense, I hate doing this stuff. It's this monotonous kind of tasks that kill a lot of my motivation to do these sorts of things. Ooh, you know what I kind of want to talk about? The fucking, is it Fugu? I don't know. Ting Young. The new Ting Young coming out for Starro. The drip marketing for her. Dude, they've really fucking done well with the 2 characters coming out in 2.7. Like, holy shit. Like, actually so excited. And I'm dreading it because I want to save. I don't want to get more characters, but I can kind of, my argument was, and I want to say this, my argument to why, to not getting more characters moving forward is I've got enough carries and I've got more or less enough sustainers, because sustainers don't really need to be replaced easily. Like, you only need, 3, and I have 3 that are really good. I have, I have Aventurine, which I'm trying to build him even more peak than I have, but he's already really up there. I have Lorcho, and he's really well built. And I have, Gallagher, which he's insanely good. And I don't think I really need any other sustainers other than him. I do have Bailu and shit as well if I really want, but... And then it was like, for carries, I have way too many carries. I have more carries than I'm going to feasibly use. But what I don't have enough of is supports. Because at the moment, my biggest issue is I kind of have, 2 or 3 teams that use Robin. Because she's just insanely good. And then the rest use Ruin May. So if I can find, 1 or 2 more supports to add in there to solve my problems, I'll be happy. But outside of that, I just kind of want to build up. I want to build tall, not wide with my account. And, the fact that Aventurine's coming back, I'm gonna try and roll for his Lycone. Which, I say try and roll. I get it very easily. Very cheaply. But, I also kind of want to... at the moment, I'm soft rolling for Topaz and Numpty, because I kind of want to get them as well. I think it'd be kind of cool. I don't know. He's spicy. But that's why, those 2 is, 2 really cool and well-established characters in my eyes that I, care about a fair bit. And you're telling me that they're both supports? You kind of make me want to play. To roll for them, man. You kind of make me want to roll for them. I hate it. Oh god, where are we at? So, cooldown is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Value. This would be value 5. Hash. Health. Or. And. Where's the duration? So 5, 6, 7, 7. No, the wording for this has got to be this way around, right? Let's see. Start of your stream, sleep at start of your stream. Time zones are crazy. Time zones do be crazy. I mean, it doesn't help as well that since they've just changed, like, I gotta get used to them being changed and it being a bit earlier for most people, I think, across the board. Right? It's like pretty much 2 hours earlier. Because I still stream at 8 AM. Well, basically at 8 AM. And I'm not gonna probably be changing that until for the foreseeable future. So even when the time zone switched, like, I just kept streaming at 8 AM, but I moved by an hour, I think, or 2. Well, I mean, like, I moved directly by an hour for me, but then, like, it moves for 2 for most people because of the differences and everything. That's why I use the UTC for my schedules, because it's just easier. It's 21:30, so that's what? I'm actually having a moment, like 9? No. Wow, brain, how can you fail math this badly? Yeah, no, it's 9:30, right? Me. 9:30, hey, I got it right. Took me a moment. There we go. I mean, to be fair, most of the people that actually, like, know me would still consider this way too bloody early. Which is the, always the fun part, right? But for me, this is actually, like, quite far into my day, because, I've said this before, but, like, I wake up easily at, like, 3, 4 a.m. a lot of the time. Even, like, now I'm fully back to that since the, time change, the time zone change. So, before stream, I'm, like, awake for easily at least 4 hours. If you would believe that. I used to wake up at 10 in the morning, but now my job starts at 8. Jobs do tend to do that, which ruins a lot of people. To be fair, right? Like I've talked about this before. Back when I was a lot younger, and like YouTube was fairly early on as well for this. I would watch stuff on my like phone or laptop or whatever during the night because I didn't sleep pretty much at all. Then I would like do some work, I would do all that, I would go like I'd come home from work, play like Warframe or some shit or World of Warcraft for several hours, go to bed at like maybe 1 in the morning, watch stuff for like several hours, and then it's like morning again and I'll just go to school. And then I would end up at school late. I would possibly sleep on during one of my classes. Then I would leave school, go home, and then go get ready for work again. And that was like my cycle for a long time. It was not healthy. Then leaving that, I also did, I just worked aggressively. So, while I didn't really per se work multiple jobs most of the time, I did basically act like I was working multiple jobs. So that's why I have a massive respect for anyone that's like upholding 2 like part-time jobs that are fairly frequent. Shit's fucking awful. Hell, doing like a 9 till 5, 5 days a week is fucking painful as it is, so. Very happy that I'm given the room at the moment to work with things. I have Monday and to Friday job and then weekend university classes. Oh, see, that's one of those rough ones where I'm like, 100%, that's how you kind of gotta do it. That's one of the best ways to approach that sort of thing. But fuck me, you just end up with no time for yourself. And it's really, really rough. It sucks so much. Job is 8 till 4, university is 8 till, oh. Yeah, no, I know military time. Yeah, I was like 8 till 8, that's... See, yeah, no, not easy at all. I mean, my shorthand is that, like, I would definitely say that that's something you can do for a little while, but God, that's eventually gonna wear you down, right? Like, you're a very strong person for even doing it at all, so go you. Fucking pat on the back, man. Like, degrees are not easy. I speak from experience. I have mine in my room at the moment, sitting facing the wall. Because I don't have a way of hanging it up, and I kind of don't want to look at it right now. because it's depressing. And I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't help as well that like I kind of want to. I'm on break from my current one, and I think I'm gonna just keep that break. I don't think I'm gonna go back. Because doing a software engineering with game development as its primary course is great and all, but the amount that I have learnt during that course has been invaluable, but now I think I'm at a point where I will learn more doing stuff myself. But that's the main thing. Because, like, I think in the time I've spent this last half year kind of period where I've been away from my degree and I've just been working on this game, like, aggressively, the amount I have learned in sectors that I'm really interested in has been insane, and the amount that I've learned in sectors I'm not interested in is also quite high. The fact is my art has drastically improved, and I can tell you with almost certainty, if I was still doing my degree right now, my art would not have improved in any measure of what it has. So that's something I'm kind of glad about. But I would also kind of make the argument I'm definitely teetering in a dangerous position not having like a locked-in job or a locked-in degree. Because at the moment I'm kind of just living as life dictates, and that's not a good way to do it. Not at my age as well. The older you get, the worse that kind of idea becomes, and like the moment you leave your like teens especially, that becomes very dangerous. 20s it's a bit okay, I guess, but yeah. I mean, 20s should also still be treated the same way that teens are, honestly. But it's not. Because, yeah, it is what it is, right? I'm getting the degree because it'll be easy to get hired later. Got some logistic courses, and I'm already educated in. Well, I mean, like, that's the thing is, and this is something I'm getting more and more consistent feedback on that I'm right. So take that as you will. But, like, degrees are not what gets you jobs, it's experience. Degrees help. And what you're saying there is exactly what I'm saying, right? It's just going to mean that when you go into a job and they'll look at your experience versus someone that's probably very similar experience level, but you also have a degree, they're going to look at you a little bit more positively. Because something that, what was it? Mortdog did a video about this, like a little short, and I think this is 100% a point that needs to be, like, talked about a lot more, by the way. So if I just pull this up. So he talked about the difference between junior and senior. So you'll often see most places hiring for senior, and you might wonder why. Because you have to, so the amount that a junior gets paid is this much, for example, whereas senior gets paid like this much. Substantially more. So isn't it more expensive to get a senior? Well, what Mortdog explains, and this is something that's very true, and he explained it in a very good way, so I can kind of better explain this myself. It's something I've known, but I've just never really had a good way of explaining it. When you're actually looking, so this is pay. This is how much you have to pay them. Okay? So then we also have equipment. Alright. Oops. So equipment how much does this cost for the junior? It costs, say, 2 of these. How much does this cost for a senior? It costs potentially between this. Because they might have some stuff. Okay, then as you mentioned, this is correct. Training. Oops. Training. How much does this cost for junior? It can be... Okay, let's actually be realistic with this. With a junior, it can be anywhere between this to, say, this. With a senior, it can be anywhere between this to, realistically, probably this. Okay. And then there's, like, just other stuff as well, right? Like, transport, blah, 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 whatever. It doesn't really matter. We'll just put ETC here. Realistically, this will somewhere often cost between this to, again, this. Whereas for a senior, again, it's probably going to cost somewhere between here to here. So what does this actually mean? So if we look at the pay, okay, seniors, this is substantially more by 2. Okay, with this, it could be 0 to 1. With this, it could be 0 to a difference of 2. And with this, it could be 0 to a difference of 2. Junior does less and requires more. Exactly. I have just now shown that, roughly speaking, the actual difference between the roles is that it is a value of 2 to a cost of 7. Of these kind of, like, again, we're using very loose things, but, like, it could be this much more to hire a junior than a senior. That is a lot more when you think about it. When you just don't look at this thing. In my composition, the word assistant in front of it. So yeah, yeah. That's the thing, is it's just like, realistically, when you're going into this sort of like field, you're going to see a lot of senior. That's going to scare you. You're not going to be able to really apply for that most of the time. Junior is normally really underpaid, and you need to go in with the right mindset. You need to go in with the mindset that you're not going to go from here to here in that job. Realistically, what's going to actually happen is you're going to go here, and you need to learn. You build up knowledge in here, you go in knowing like expecting you know nothing, and be pleasantly surprised if you do know stuff. Think like that. And then from there, you'll eventually end up as a senior. And you can go and move to a different company or stay within the same company, all sorts. That's how it goes. I'm not saying you don't know this, I'm just kind of giving that wide information, right? But this is that important, like, distinction that needs to be acknowledged. That's why we talk, Thor talks about, like, how you should try and find, like, a QA job or something. You need to find low-end jobs in the industry that you're interested in, because you need to learn from the ground up. Because experience and understanding is actually knowledge, whereas, like, getting a textbook is just theory. You cannot actualize that theory, and often you can't truly visualize and utilize that theory until you have knowledge to back that up. Which is why, like, a degree is good, but a degree is less essential than experience. That's why I'm really glad I went and worked for a while before I went and got a job. It's what I recommend to other people, and it sounds like it's kind of what you've done as well as you're working while doing a degree, which really helps with that. As a warehouse worker, I could just jump on a forklift and go because I have experience in the field. But but as an office logistic worker, I'm an assistant. Yeah, right. So there's all sorts of stuff, and it's the important distinction of understanding when you go into a new field, you need to go in with the expectation you know nothing, and then, yeah, as I said earlier, it's like, you know nothing, be pleasantly surprised when you do know something. Try and use your information from other fields, from all of your experiences, as transitive ways to answer things if you can, but at the end of the day, you need to accept that you're learning. I'm still learning with programming, and I would argue I'm like definitely in the middle stages of competency. But I would definitely not consider myself a senior, seasoned developer by no stretch of the margin. But that doesn't matter. It's because at that point in time, that's just me trying to compare myself versus others to get like an answer, right? Do you have actual experience with that work, or you're just speculating it's like this? Do you mean with, like, with what do you mean? If we're talking like this stuff, I have experience with this. But like, it depends also on the field. I will openly say that. If we're talking software and stuff like that, yes, I have experience. If we're talking, actually a few different things. It depends on what field, but this is an experience that I've had, and this is something that's like kind of reflected by information that I've had available to me, and what other people's experiences are. Like, I've worked a lot at this point. Well, for my age, I've worked a decent amount. The fact that I did my degree later in life is kind of evidence of that. So that's why I say, like, experience is what actually is knowledge most of the time. That's why when I went into my degree, I had my first degree was super easy because everyone around me was struggling, going like, how do I juggle the timings and stuff like that? It's like, how do you not self-manage yourself? It's like, what do you mean by that? It's like, well, I was someone, I had to get myself to work, I had to make sure I turned up on time, I had to make sure that I was presentable, all these things. I have to do all that stuff. When I got higher in my roles, for example, when I worked at like fast food, when I was doing maintenance manager training and stuff like that, I would be very self-managed because I had to be. I had to be able to accomplish this and that without someone telling me what to do. I didn't have someone standing behind me going, hey, you need to do this, or someone that was willing to check up. No, all I had was, if I hadn't done it by a certain period of time, I would get like brought into an office and asked, why have I not done it yet? That was it. Alright? That's what, you actually get better treatment at university than that. But you get a lot, but still it's worse than what you would have at like normal school, like a high school or something like that, where you're arguably going to actually be followed up on. A lot of people in your work speak Ukrainian, so it's always challenging to learn by observing. That actually makes a lot of sense. That's something I guess I'm kind of glad about, is that I live in a predominantly English-speaking country. Nowadays we're introducing more of the native Tereo language into kind of the workplace, but even then, like, that has always been around, so it's not excessively difficult. But I could definitely see like someone just straight up talking in a different language being quite hard to follow up, right? You just switch to a different language mid-sentence. Whoa, that is wild. Yeah, like that's something that would just throw me through a loop. And it's not like a bad thing. It's cool that they're able to like speak multiple languages. There's always something that's worthy of praise. But Me, I'd not be able to keep up, eh? Right. Okay, so this is a level up one, so this is one of those times where I actually have to write it out myself, I believe. That was the precedence that I set with level up? Yes, that's the precedence that I set with level up. So this needs to be level hash 20%, and then and question mark. This needs to be less than 2. This needs to equal 2. And this needs to equal 3. Do I really increase by 60% healing? That's insane. What? That is a lot more than I expected, huh? But I do agree, though, it is actually fair to question if I've got experiences with some of this stuff, or if it's speculation. Very much, like, honestly, props to asking about that sort of thing. Because, as I was saying earlier, like, theory is theory. Experience is knowledge. Something you have lived and experienced is actual stuff that you can say is true. Everything else should be taken with some semblance of skepticism, varying based on context, right? So if a medical professional is telling me something, I'm going to be a lot less skeptical than fucking, I don't know, Trevor on the street corner telling me the same, like, telling me medical advice. No offense to Trevor on the corner, but, like, one of you has a very clear thing that, with practicing that theory and all that sort of stuff, so you can tap into a much greater knowledge pool on average. However, it's also important to not fully dismiss regardless. Because something that, I think I talked about it briefly yesterday, but like I talked about it with a friend recently, was the concept of kind of like, there is sometimes, there's a reason why wives' tales exist, right? To the extent that they do. It's because there's often some level of legitimacy underneath the scope of it. For example, tea with honey when your throat is sore. That's actually very legitimate advice. Ginger and honey. Really important. And there's medical evidence to back a lot of that up. So, take it kind of from that perspective of like, look at it, scrutinize it, maybe research it if there's some evidence to back it up. And there's no downside, give it a try. But it's always about weighing the pros and the cons, right? Love making hot milk with honey. See, that sounds like a nice thing to do, yeah. I mean, it's... at the end of the day, that's how it goes. But like, this is why also self-diagnosing is a problem. Because like, people will go, oh, I have this, this, and this. It's like, okay, but you don't have experience to look at it objectively. You can be around these people, but the problem is you're going to see things other people aren't. And sometimes you're going to see things that actually aren't there. That was one of the best parts of doing psychology as part of my degree with a lot of things, because that was the joke that was made by the lecturer on day one, is that you're going to come out of this class thinking you have everything we've talked about. And the shorthand is, you probably don't. And if you do, well done. Be very impressed. Go see a doctor. It's how it goes. We are some of the worst at looking at ourselves objectively. It's a very, very difficult skill to kind of cultivate, is looking at yourself in an objective manner. I've kind of managed to do it, and that's why typically I'll go into meetings with doctors and stuff, and medical professionals, and it tends to go quite smoothly, because it's like, look, from an injector standpoint, this, this, and this, these often result in this, this, or this. Can we check these things? And I tend to be more or less right. Lemon tea always helps with hangover. I mean, like, there's all sorts of hangover cures that exist, and that, I'll admit, is definitely down to the person, and there's different things to it. I mean, one of the best ones is like Powerade, because that actually does like help improve a lot of things, because you've normally ejected a lot of stuff from your body by vomiting or something like that. And you need to hydrate is a big thing, and stuff like Powerade, because electrolyte drinks are pretty good for that. There's a lot of things you can do, but hey, through writing on the morning of the exam after. I mean, that's the whole thing of, like, also greasy food can kind of help. It is also up to the person. I'll openly say that. There's a level of kind of truth to some of those, right? Easter, by the way, that's even better. I love that. That is great. Can I talk about, like, one of my favorite moments going into an exam? Because I didn't have very many exams for my degree, because when I started was 2019. I started in 2019, and then the next year after that was 2020, and we stopped being able to go to the university for clear reasons. One of my favorite exam experiences was I was chatting with a lecturer. This was actually the psychology degree, the psychology paper, sorry. I was chatting with him, and he's just like, he likes coming out beforehand in case anyone's got some last minute questions and stuff. No one really came up to him, so I just chatted with him the whole time beforehand. He was really awesome. And he talked about one of his experiences where, it was his, like, last high school, like, exam he had. And how he went up to, get his paper handed to him, because you have to go up to the front, get it handed to you, at the time, and stuff like that. Nowadays, I think they lay it out at tables, yada yada. Anyway, so he goes up to his teacher, and he goes, I'm going to take this piece of paper to do the exam, and then I'm going to rub your bald head for good luck. And he actually reached out and rubbed it. And he swears by it the entire time he was doing that exam. That teacher was glaring at him with daggers, and it's so good. I loved that, right? That's really funny. It's good sense of humor, but it's just, like, really kind of just like, oh no. Well, we don't get to see each other past this, so not a problem. So we're about to head in, and he's got a bit of a bald patch at the top. He's a very good guy, but it's bald and all that. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna take this hand, like, shook his hand, like, I take this handshake, as my way of going in, and then he's like, you can see his brain clicking, and I'm like, I'm gonna rub the ball patch for good luck. Needless to say, that was great. That was absolutely great. I talked with him a few times since then, and he's a good sort. Which is always the important thing. Actually, can I speak to that? Completely, like, well, not completely, but like slightly sidetrack moment with some advice here. Something a lot of people underestimate was from your hometown. Used to come early to his class and chat. Yes, no, that's actually kind of going where I'm about to go. So I highly recommend, if you actually are capable of doing this, talk with your lecturers, see if you can get like coffees or something like that with them, have brunches, have whatever, and talk with them, learn from them, see what they think, because at the end of the day, realistically, you're actually, when you're doing an essay or anything like that, you're actually writing for the marker. You're not writing to the correct answer, per se. Which a lot of people hate that that's the case, but it's true. And if you know your lecturer really well, you'll learn what you actually should be trying to write for. And at the end of the day as well, if you want to go postgraduate, you pretty much need to actually have connections. And it's, yeah, no, like you need to have the connections to be able to do that. So you need to actually be making friends with these lecturers. It's very important. Highly recommend it. So what was this? Live yesterday's stream early, but breaking news ends racism by sacrificing white people to Cthulhu. Yeah, that was a very questionable boss fight, I gotta say. Gotta love South Park. But yeah, no, 100%. Talk with your teacher, talk with your lecturers, talk with your tutors, learn from them, and like actually get to know them, because you'll either find out how much you like university at that point, because you'll talk with them and you'll hear their experiences, their stuff, and you can learn from their, hey, this might not actually be for me, and that's fine. Or you might end up learning way too much and go like, oh, I really want to actually keep following down the academic pathway. Because teachers are people too, human beings, you know? I know, right? It's incredible. But yeah, no, like, I'm gonna be honest, while I was there was only like a couple of lecturers I didn't like. In fact, one of them was pretty universally disliked, but she was a pioneer in her field. And I disliked them because they failed to give clear information about a requirement for their assignments and formatting and stuff like that. They never give you that information. And I had to do their course twice, and I only barely passed. It was one of the last courses I had to do for my degree, because it was an essential one for my paper, that paper. And I absolutely despised going to those lectures. In fact, in the end, I stopped, just because it wasn't worth my time. One of the key lecturer, so the tutor, lecturer, whatever, that I really dislike was extremely misogynistic in the way that, like, men weren't important to a child's growing up as much as the mother is. Not acknowledging that there's plenty of research to say, yes, on average, it's typically the mother, and when it's two parents there, and not acknowledging when there's like a solo parent environment, or talking to that stuff and almost making it out like that's an inferior child growth. Because this was human development. It got really, really irritating, and just, holy shit, I hated it. I hated it so much. It was really, really difficult to talk with them. So, yeah, no, I put in complaints about that person. They did shape up the next time I did it, but for me it was not fun. English teacher was friends with my grandma when because she said that was great. That's good. Fluent speaker at that point, but it was still nice to get that from him. No, that's actually really cool. That's really cool. If you will return to making your doing my degree, would you go for a tutoring job after? So this is where I kind of point out why I also recommend the whole talking with your lecturers thing. If I went back to my degree, I have already got pretty high assurance that if I completed it, I would actually probably just straight up be hired as a lecturer at that university. Well, that institution. Because I have a degree in teaching, and then I would have a degree in software, and I have a lot of experience in software engineering. So I'm actually kind of one of their peak candidates. So if I wouldn't get picked up by like another company, which is pretty likely, they would probably hire me themselves. Do I have great opportunities in those fields? Yes, I do. If I really commit myself to that, like how it would go. This is why in the nicest sense, me doing the streaming is actually hindering myself. Because I've said this a fair bit, but like, I'm streaming with the intention of, like, streaming and game deving with the intention this is what I want to do. I love being able to give educational orientated advice and help people with discussing things with game dev, with all that sort of stuff via streams, because I don't like the fact that you kind of have to pay to get that sort of stuff normally. Like you have to pay to go to school or some such, and that's when you actually learn this thing. I want to be here to alleviate that. It's something that I actually really respect about Thor as well. He does a really huge deal about trying to make information as available as possible, something I've always really tried to work on. And I kind of can't do that as a professor. Or actually working in these environments, because there's limitations. Basically, the short answer is I want to be able to teach, but I want to be able to teach unhindered, which I can do in this environment. And I can do my own stuff as well. That's something I really, really like being able to do. But again, I have to be realistic at some point. I have to find that acceptable margin of, can I keep doing this without like just not being able to grow, not being able to sustain myself, all that, right? I imagine how many persons you can help with that way. I mean, like, that's the thing is, if I did end up as like a professor, I could help. I could probably guarantee per year help maybe about 100 or so people, and achieve what they want to, or learn what they want to achieve, right? Whereas through this, the numbers are way, way more variable. I could help nobody, or I could help infinite people, right? And in a sense, I'm gambling on that infinite. I would prefer to do that. I want to find the best way I can to enable as many people as I can to be able to think critically, be able to think in a way that means that they can actually like objectively look at things and subjectively and understand subjectivity of themselves, to understand life is difficult, right? Is how this goes. Life is really, really difficult in a lot of ways, and it ain't gonna get easy unless you make it easy. You need to find a way to make it easy. Your final assignment, make a game concept about VTubers. I mean, I've gotta say, I'd definitely be, from my experience of having done some stuff of teaching and tutoring and stuff, I had a lot of people that really enjoyed working with me. I mean, like, I did project facilitation as well. Like, I did a lot of, like, project management and project facilitation. A lot of people loved working with me. I very rarely heard any complaints about my leadership abilities. The only complaints I've actually really heard is that I tend to do too much myself. And don't leave enough sometimes. But, yeah, it's kind of a problem, and I will always have that problem. But, one thing I have is that no group I've ever had really walks away without feeling like a much more tight-knit group. In fact, I still have email conversations from time to time with people I just randomly had a single group exercise with, just because they became really good friends during that time. Oh yeah, no, that was the recent one at the during the software degree, where I had like only artist teammates, and I managed to get that one person able to do programming, giving them all the resources they needed so they could get it done. And like the thing as well is that they screwed up. They screwed up a couple of times because they kind of just copy pasted a few things. And didn't think about it, and there was an issue with the collision because they did a lot of the collision stuff, and I reviewed over it, found the issue, and then basically when we could talk again, I was like, hey, so I found the issue, it was this, and he's like, oh yeah, okay, and like we went through it, and it's like, yeah, I copied pasted that over, I didn't realize that it was different. It's like, yeah, no, that's fine, because it's because this checks this and this checks that. Whereas, because it's getting duplicated here, it's not actually checking this and this that it would need to check. Makes sense, okay. And they didn't have any issues that further down the line. That is exactly there what you kind of actually want to do with people. You want to give them the ability to learn and grow through their experiences, and you need to treat failure as a learning exercise, people. I swear to God. That is one of the things that pisses me off the most, is how much people fail to, like, do that, especially as, like, a person in charge of the project. Because if you don't do that, they're not going to actually improve, and if you end up working with them again, they're not going to want to work with you. That's the short answer. Why would I work with an asshole that treats me like shit when I mess something up? So I realize I haven't done the text formatting for this one either. God damn it. Alright, this is going to take a while to write this all out, but go. Boom. But yeah, it's like, I think one thing I've talked to a few people about as well is like, it's completely fair to hate group projects though, but it's also down to like, the problem a lot of people have with group projects is that it's the reliance on another person. How far are you in making the game? we describe the progress. I think it's fair to say we're in like the top 80 to 90% completed, right? Like right now, I'm just doing some essential cleanup. We've just got to update a couple more mechanics, and we got to get through the next 2 major updates, and then it's on Steam. Is still an alpha, I'd argue, but nonetheless, we're pretty far along. Polishing the stages code. Yeah, I think that's a very accurate way of putting it. It's just, we're doing a lot of polish at the moment. General, like, quality of life improvement. I mean, this is 100% a quality of life improvement. Did I need to do this? No. Is this much better for the game overall? Probably massively, I'd argue. We're at the it's gonna work most likely when we're done stage. I like that. But yeah, we're pretty far along with this so far. I mean, I've been working on it since like February last year, so... Oh god, you know, I'm gonna struggle so much when we get to next year. Because I'm gonna, like, someone's gonna ask me how long you've been working on this project for. And I'm gonna have to explain, it's February 2 years ago. February 2023. So when I started this. Yikes. Yikes, that's a concern. Like, saying February last year feels like still pretty bad to say how long it's been, but like, it doesn't feel too bad. Like, saying like... That's... it's... I don't know if I like that. More experience for you, at least. I mean, true. I couldn't fear. Dude, Vampire Survivors, like, it's really wild because we're probably now getting to the downswing of them, those clones. We've had a large enough saturation of the market. Like, a lot of ideas have been kind of done to death, and this game's not really doing anything too new, I would argue. It's just kind of refining on a couple of points and doing my own thing. So it's really fascinating to think about, like, yeah, this is probably not the correct thing to be working on if I was to work on something. To be fair, my next project's not much better. It's a fucking card game, so, you know. Slay the Spire style, I guess, clone. The silly mode modifier right now. To be fair. Yeah, that's fair, actually. That's fair. One day we'll add some more silly modifiers. I do want to add some that are just like completely... No, okay, let me explain what I was about to say in a much, like, more cohesive manner. Can I just go all the way back? I'm gonna have to make a new one, fuck. Alright, sorry for the flashback. Y'all remember, like, skulls and Halo? There's one in particular that I will always use for my example of this sort of thing. I want to add some modifiers that are like fucking what is it? The celebration one. When you like headshot the enemy, fucking fireworks. Right. Does this actually impact the game? No. In fact, what this will do is just waste a modifier slot. And I'm probably going to make some of these just like positives or negatives. So it's like, does the game actually change? No, but it's going to be stupid. That's the best part. Something like New Game Plus stuff? No, there's not going to be a New Game Plus. I've said this before, like, so holocure has, like, its, hard modes. I'm never gonna introduce, hard mode, like doing for the challenges. Not Not really. Again, like, it's the modifiers is the inbuilt system. If we launch up the game real quick, right? It's less talking about what the skulls are, and it's more about like the thing. We'll have challenges and achievements. Like if we look at these portals with these modifiers, like I want to add some filler ones that are just dumb and bad and funny. This needs to be reworded. By the way, yeah, if you actually look at the tooltips, I've changed the fucking sizing of them so they are way more readable. Like overall. Go me. But I do like the idea of adding some things. Hey, that was the one we'd just been working on. Game +3 health regen. Nice. Increase healing and asset effects by 20%. It's actually really cool to be able to see all of these like this. Can I just say that? Like, it's actually kind of cool to be able to see, like, the stuff in-game working. Me happy with that. Me very happy with that. But yeah, as you can see, I have gone through and done a lot of these. We just need to get the abilities done. Where there are dumb modifiers for beating the game or oh, okay. Actually, okay, so this is a question I do have, and I kind of want to pose this very openly and not with any intention of guaranteeing it, right? Do we think that, like, some modifiers should be locked behind achievements? Or, like, collection progress or whatever you want to call it. I keep referring to collection and achievements very synonymously because they kind of are. I like the idea of maybe like some meme ones being done like that. But like the problem then becomes, and this sounds horrific, this has always been my argument against those sorts of systems. Realistically, if I was, how do I describe this best? If I was to introduce a Vampire Survivors game, if I gave you a character, like if I gave you the option to unlock a weapon that is actively just bad, really? Like it's not that great of a weapon, but like you choose to unlock it, you could just never unlock it and it would never enter the pool of weapons and potentially clog out and cause problems. So why would I want to get these achievements if they're just going to give me clogged out modifiers? Right? I think that's why I say, like, that's, I think, a valid argument to be made. Like, I shouldn't have to do an effort to get a thing that is potentially just overall detrimental to the gameplay and the loop. Like, making the game actively worse by unlocking something. Seeing stuff implemented, working is more, yeah, no, it's a great feeling of happiness. It's just seeing that casually working there. Achievements sound interesting. I mean, that's why I say, like, the game will have achievements. How much? Ooh. I think I can show. I have to be very careful where I scroll. Yeah, so like the collection here, for example, this stuff here is achievements. If you considered some prestige system, like with every run your chosen VTuber can earn views and followers, they would unlock items. That's definitely a consideration, right? No, 100%. Like I've got something like that in the pipeline. I'm not sure how I'm gonna implement it though. silly jokes or modifiers that make something harder or weirder is good, but locking weak weapons or strong ones wouldn't be a good idea. Oh no, 100%. So this is where I stand by my stance on a lot of this, is that I will lock some characters. And there's a good chance that we might lock their weapons while they're locked. Not even guaranteed on that yet. But I'm not gonna like lock too much behind collection things. I do like the idea of you having to like actually get some characters, but I do think that there will be certain things locked straight away. But yeah, no, I do dislike that's why I actually disliked League of Legends Swarm, is I felt too many things were locked behind progression. And too many of them were locked behind really long end. I think rerolls should not have been locked as far behind as they were. I think they should have given you a couple of inherent ones or really early to get ones. And then like maybe locked a few of them later. And I think that would have been fine. I think there could have been definitely a shuffle around on some of those. But not, we could lock strong weapons, but not OP ones. Maybe versions improve. I mean, if I scroll here for a split second, you'll see that, like, getting to the end credits gives you something. I can tell you now the strongest weapon in the game is not available to players. There is a weapon in the game that I can only unlock if I program it in to be unlocked. And that weapon is insane. But the intention is that that weapon will never be available on anyone other than that character. It is a secret character for a reason. And that's going to be the case. Is like secret characters, I'm probably going to follow my philosophy of they get like a unique weapon, an item and all that sort of stuff that literally will never go into the list. They can only obtain them themselves. I think that's completely fair. Secret characters, please don't leak. Well, I mean, like I said, they're in the game, technically. I'm not gonna go into them, but like, I will tell you now, they're in this little folder here. My secrets folder. Is there idle animation done? And I think I was going to use the idle animation for something else. I think most of their assets are actually in, the more that I think about it. Secret character unlocked after getting all achievements. I would say I would probably add a character like that. But I'm going to say now, when I speak to the secret characters, I'm not saying all of them are good. I already know one character I'm going to add as a secret character, and they're going to be god-awful. Give a taste to the fans. That would be funny. Actually, can I tell you guys? I'll tell y'all about one of the characters that you can obtain. I'm not going to tell you how. But like, this is something that I liked about Vampire Survivors, and I think this is a very funny joke. You're going to be able to get Slimy, the slime, as one of the playable characters. They are going to be stats similar to what Slimy the slime has. Reminder, enemies have like 5 or 7 health when the player has normally 1,000. I'm not going to probably give you quite that bad a health, but I'm definitely going to give you really fucking terrible health. And I think that's really funny. I mean, 100% I plan on introducing something like that, and it's just going to be a character that is actively just, if you pick this, you are going for a challenge run. Have fun. You could also do some crazy riddles, puzzles, etc. for super secret characters. I do kind of like that idea. I'm not against the idea of having like Easter egg things. To be fair, technically speaking, there's going to be something that's locked behind. I wouldn't call it like an Easter egg or a secret, but there is. I mean, it was one of the things there, and I'm not going to be like super secretive about it. This one's actually one of the ones I'm probably the most cool about showing. Which is this. Because I've already talked about that. It's, again, I admit it's very hard to read this because it's down the bottom, but I can't scroll any further without actually going into too much spoiler stuff. But like, Nina is going to be the barkeeper, or the, kind of like your, the person at the counter at the tavern space. And if you go talk to her after you've, like, been successful, you'll get access to the private quarters. Because I'm not going to give you the private quarters straight away. I thought that was cool. I'm not going to make that like super hidden, but like that's kind of a showing of how I might approach secrets, is that there'll probably be something above her head to indicate you could talk to her, and you're like, oh, there's a thing. So those that, so it gives you that sort of thing. And private quarters will have another secret too, maybe. I'm not too confident on that. To be fair, the private quarters is gonna just basically be, it's a room where you can place down things. That's it. It's a customizable room. It's, like, I see it very similar to how, Warframe's, private quarters is. Or, actually, you could use the example of Holocure's house. That was always something that was intended the moment we introduced the concept of the lobby. On my way to make content on your game in the future, I promise. I can just imagine those clickbait titles. Oh god. Not the clickbait titles. I found this secret after 100 hours of this game. Actually, wait, I wonder, can I pull Steam hours? No, we need to look this up quickly. Game Maker... get players Steam hours. Steam playtime. You can get it in a roundabout way with the get owned games. No idea if the game plugin is plugin is it. Managed to get it working. Try. Because, like, I know there's a way to do it internally. Use the statistics function provided by the Steamworks extension. Set up a numeric playtime value in the Steamworks control panel. When Steam Stamps Ready returns true for the first time, fetch the playtime variables using Steam get stat int and store it in a global variable. Every minute or so, increment the global variable and update the playtime variable with Steam set stat int. Okay, yeah, so that's exactly how I was thinking I'd probably do it. I was hoping that I could just get Steam's one though. Dude, do we make it like a secret achievement that's literally just like called I played this game for 100 hours and it just gives it to you after 100 hours again? I think that is horrendous. I think that's actually such a bad fucking idea. I think that's actually foul, right? So anyone that wants to cheat do one for 1,000 hours as well. Oh no, I want to do that now. Oh, that actually sounds so bad. No, okay, I want to stress the reason why I'm evil, I am evil. No, even considering this stuff is because I'm... How do I describe this? I've played Neptunia, right? I played the Neptunia games. If you've ever, like, achievement hunted in Neptunia games, you'll understand why I'm kind of willing to be cruel with achievements. As someone that has 100% completed a couple of the Neptunia game achievements and everything, in-game and out-of-game on Steam and stuff, you can fuck yourself. Like, in Neptunia Rebirth 1, one of them is basically that, is play the game for 1,000 hours. Because it's like, get a specific amount of money. The amount of money that you need to achieve that, you can only achieve after playing, like, the game, like, okay. Let's pull up Steam. Because I actually don't have this achievement on Steam. Neptunia Rebirth 1. The fact is that these are the only 2 achievements I don't have. Obtain 100 million credits. That's it. And then that gives me the final one. I have everything else. I have all the characters like maxed out as well. I have 75 hours of game time in this. You need to basically play for 100 hours easily, just grinding a very specific thing to get that like 100 million credits. It's bad. It is very bad. Like, I have everything. I've collected everything in that game. This is the only thing left for me to do, is this money. I have not played since 2020, good lord. And I think that was like, I wasn't even playing really at that time. I think I just logged in to do some extra money grinding to see if I could get closer. Because haha funny. So that is something I don't want to quite undo to the player, but I do like the idea of just going like, nah, you need 100 hours, fuck you. Call it like, yeah, we could name it straight up. Okay, let's... Let's see, and then... There we go. Be crueler and make some undoable achievement. The one that would, do it to get their own character. Literally undoable. No, okay, I'm not that cruel. I am 100% not that cruel. I will say that absolutely with certainty. I'm not that cruel. There will be an achievement that is a collect all other achievements. I will say that now. And it's going to basically give you nothing. It's just going to be a prosperity one. This is why it sounds wild to say, but that's one of those ones where I'm going to probably make like versions of that one, right? So to explain what I mean by that is if we just clear this way. We talked about this before with holocure, right? Is there's the 100% achievement, right? So 100% achieve, and how like technically I want to do it myself now before the next update because it's going to be easier. You can, I think someone explained this. You can just uncheck it and then recheck it on in as a developer, and it will just remove it from everyone. And my intention is, what I will probably have is versions of it where it's like 100% of base game sort of thing. And then like if I add say an expansion, 100% of X expansion. I like the idea of doing achievements like that, because then it means that I'm not undoing your work, but I'm giving you more work to do. Only got this achievement, bro. I need to do the 1,000-hour achievement. Well, yeah. Malas, but he's already planned out DLCs. Well, I mean, like I've said kind of before, when I say like expansion, I mean like a content drop, right? And content drops are intended to be like, what was the list again? 4 characters, 4+ characters, 4+ skins, and then potentially a map at minimum. So if we per se added a new map with new mechanics or anything like that, and I wanted to add achievements for that, I would add achievements that are very specific to that. That's maybe an argument to make that I wouldn't release a map at a time. I would release like maybe a package of maps, and they would all be kind of like a specific concept. And there would be like a lot more fanfare and a lot more specifics around that. But no, I mean, I don't want to do really DLCs. We're not doing DLCs, we're just doing updates to the game. Because DLCs imply separate content that you have to probably pay for. I'm not doing that. You're going to get the game, and you're going to keep getting fed the game. I'm going to force it down your fucking throat. No, stop with the content updates. No, we've had enough. Uberland. All that reminds me of is the place that they see in South Park when they do the cheesing thing. That place. No, we're not doing that kingdom. That. What are the ideas that we have at the moment? I actually have the list, right? Yeah, here we go. Here's the map ideas that we have currently. No joke. We have the plains, which is the main one we have at the moment. Cave, cyberpunk. We also have another one, and I haven't written it here. I'll just leave it as that for the moment. But yeah, we've got a beach one that I had a bunch of notes on somewhere. I think in my book. Will be get some secret lore. I mean, it's kind of the intention with the Dark Lord Castle is to be the final map of the thing. So it's a joke at it being like the Demon King sort of thing. I don't. Okay, this is a weird one. It's not going to probably be the last map I ever do. If all things go well, I'd probably do more maps afterwards. But it's definitely kind of supposed to be like the capping stone, right? That's why like the Cyberpunk Road is probably a good example of me just going very left field. But I would definitely... I don't know. I don't know. I can't say for certain. Again, a lot of these ideas are very loose at this point. The fact that, like, you can see here that at the moment only these two are actually made, and horn rabbits aren't even running the game at the moment. Whereas we have like 3 more here. We still have the bosses to finish. These are elemental bats are in process. I have like the initial concepting done. I did that ages ago. Still need to finish that. Dire wolves are gonna be... I don't know if I want to do dire wolves anymore, I'll be honest. Because like, I feel like that's gonna be conflicting when you hit, if you got like the knife doggo boss, is like there's a lot of visual interference there. I guess that's kind of what I would say to that. Bunch of rats. That's actually a good one. I could do rats. I feel like that would be the cave though, right? Rat swarms? Actually, I like that. Like, not an individual rat, just a swarm of rats. Pile of rats. Oh, I actually kind of like that. That's a cool one. I do like that. No, that's actually genuinely kind of cool. I like the idea. Because like, that's the thing, I guess, is that I'm too locked into the idea that like they have to be individuals. No, that's actually a cool idea. Is having like a collective of things being an enemy. It sounds wild to say that, but yeah, no, that makes sense. I like that. I really do. That's cool. Okay, I'm yoinking that idea for later. And I'm gonna openly say it is partly responsible of why I like that as much. It's because I fucking love Dishonored. And I love the rat swarm ability because it's just funny. Summon a swarm of rats. See a dude getting fucking devoured. That's always a good one. Every time I think, my encounters a D&D, need something extra. I just change a monster into a monster swarm. That's actually fair. Another idea, rat swarms for the castle, flash floods for the castle. Oh god. Tarask swamp. No, okay, I stand by. If we ever do a swamp, we have to call it like the Miyazaki swamp. And you know exactly what I mean by calling it the Miyazaki swamp. It will be the actual worst map. It'll actually be just the worst experience. Oh my god, imagine. It's just, the entire map is like small little sections of ground, and then in between all of that is just like patches of zones that will either slow or damage you. And that's it. That's what the Miyazaki swamp is. I'll apply all sorts of fucking debuffs to you and everything. It's just an awful experience. And then for some reason, like a bunch of the enemies are just completely unaffected by this and you just want to die. Slow damage, accuracy down. Yeah. Oh no! Oh my god. I love that though. I love the idea of just straight up suffering through that map. Wait, we gotta like apply a secret to that though, right? We gotta have like, you have to survive that, like you have to have every effect on you at once. Or something like that. It sounds so good. Oh, it sounds so bad, but it sounds so good. Like everything has a duration, right? That it applies for. So it's like, say 5 seconds. So it means that you have to like find a perfect spot in the swamps And it's just run all there. Just to run around this. Or I could do worse and make it that it's randomized, so it means that there's like it just no, I wouldn't do that actually. That would be foul. I was gonna say like I could do it randomized so the swamp's just all random negative effects. Just torture area with different paths of negatives. Yeah. No, that's basically it, right? That is what we would make the Miyazaki swamp. Oh, we could call it the Swamp of Souls as a bit more of a soft nod, but I don't know, we'll see. But it's exactly that is what I would do, is it's just the worst player map. Color-coded suffering. Oh god. I love that idea though. I actually really want to do that. Miyazaki Swamp of Souls. It's because the only concern I have is, it sounds stupid to say, but how legally okay am I to call something the Miyazaki Swamp of Souls? Because I'd love to do it, but like, am I gonna get in legal trouble? Because, like, I'd have to just make sure I never go over a line to ensure that I, like, get it legally problem. Like, that would be the big thing. It sounds stupid. That's why I have to, like, be very careful with that kind of reference. Is it legal to use the name, locations, and exterior appearance of real-world businesses in a novel, but make up the interiors and the employees? What did the copy, can't copy answer, damn. Ah. Cause yeah, like that's there's so many like legal gray zones, right, with certain things. This is why like this game is a legal gray zone. It is by all intents and purposes okay, but the fact is that it's a game made without ownership of IP. Under the guise of fan, right? Names cannot be protected by copyright, neither can real locations. Company names may well be protected as trademarks. Yes, I 100% know that. So that's why I think Miyazaki Swamp is probably safe to call something. Let's add to that and just make a note. Miyazaki. There we go. said that therefore it is one and only truth. Yeah. I mean, exactly, right? I'm pretty sure I'm safe if I just go call it Miyazaki Swamp and leave it at that. And then just have it as a soft joke. Will you consider making a secret mini-map? I'd like to see some references to other games like First Doom, First Level. Something this up. Yeah, that's... I wouldn't say no, but I don't know. Right? Like, immediately Vampire Survivors comes to mind with that sort of stuff, right? Like, they have all sorts of stuff. It's... I do like that. I gotta say that is something we probably need to sort out, is that we need to actually make the maps feel more lively, and doing stuff. So one of the big mistakes that the current map has is that it is just a field, or just the plains, right? We need to add trees, this is something I know, and I do kind of want to add some charm to it. So a very valid point to make, so I can actually just pull it up here. A very valid point to make is what I'm going to probably do is I'm going to make some trees, tree assets. I'm going to fucking cover like a lot of these areas on the outside with trees, and then I'm going to make like 1 or 2 references on the edges. And then maybe like a reference on these, we'll see. Because one of my favorite references of all time is Heart of the Swarm, StarCraft 2. You actually see Dahaka like a mission or 2 early. If you are paying attention. And I always liked that. I like that sort of thing. So just the idea of like, a couple of the characters maybe in the forests peeking out at you. Like having Nina peeking out at you, just making sure you're okay. I actually like that idea. That's kind of funny. But yeah, so something along that sort of line. We do need to add more to this map. I mean, the fact is we have the grass areas as well as an example, but I've talked about that before. I'm not sure how I want to implement them. Because maybe let each map have some player-related function. For planes, I imagine some simple farming system that rewards players. I mean, okay, so to that, technically speaking, I have an intention with some of that. If we look at this, when you see the word environments, realize that's kind of my wording for something specific to that map as its kind of mechanics. And shrines, while they're probably moved away from that, shrines are kind of in that that's like that category. Most of these maps are going to have shrines or equivalent to shrines, but the shrines are definitely going to be like very specifically that kind of concept of this is a mechanic that you interact with in a unique-ish sense. I do think, again, kind of pulling to League of Legends Swarm, each of those maps had I just read that. Sorry, that broke me a little bit. I'll finish my statement and then I'll talk on that. But like, it's shrines for all maps, but some... Yeah, no, it's kind of like that idea. Is that I do want to have some distinctive mechanics. I don't know if I could say per se farming, but I definitely think that there's something we can do with the map. But like, if you look at the Cyberpunk Road, it's got the avoid the corrupted business militia, is the idea. Dark Lord Castle is there's going to be like special secret treasure chests to go find. The caves is going to have some cages to find things in. Things like that. Like, I do want to have some uniqueness to each of the maps. The problem is, as well, is the plains is supposed to be your intro to the game. I'm intending that your first run will be on the plains. So I have to be kind of like careful with how interesting I make that. But no, what I was saying is, like, with League Swarm, each of the maps had a distinct thing that it did. It had like a kind of mechanic, soft mechanic, that you could utilize. First map had a healing altar that healed everyone on the map if you stayed on it for long enough. The second one had the turret that you could activate, which I thought that was quite cute. Stuff like that. I would be down for that. Could think on that sort of thing. But no, can we go back to the fact of just the, hey, if Swamp doesn't work out, you can make it Asmongold Room and have VTubers run on his toxic floors. I fucking love that shit. That's fucking hysterical. I love that. That made me fucking laugh so much. Roaches in his room. The fucking Golden Roach King is the boss. Yes. Maybe some camp system, like you can defend the camp and upgrade it with. I don't know if I'd like quite that complex, but actually that's definitely something along the lines we could consider. Like, what I would say is maybe there's like defenses. I'm not sure about this, but maybe defenses you could build and you have to go to locations, pick up the resource, go to that location, and you can put down like a wall. And it's set locations. So you have to go to there and build it. Kind of think like, whatchamacallit, barriers in Call of Duty Zombies, except I'd probably make them more permanent. It means that you could like kind of force movement a bit more uniquely. Maybe have a bit more of a control over the battle. I don't know. Give you like 3 of them and then give you a bunch of slots but never make it so you can actually truly block off in any way. You can like route them a little bit. I like the idea of maybe something like that, maybe something like traps. I don't know. There's so many that can be done, but again, keep in mind that like the more complex an idea is, the less likely I'm to implement it. Right? As for the mechanics overall, I'd like them to be not accounted for from the start, but rather it's a trick I learned type of thing. You learn along playing the game and just stumble across it naturally. No, 100%. That's why, like, again, Swarm, I think, did that really well. It would give you notifications about doing thing. Like, hey, go to the healing altar to heal. And you're like, oh. And if you actually go up to it, you'll see that you need to stand on it and charge it up a little bit, and then you'll realize that it heals you up fully once you've used it. And it's like, okay, that makes sense. The turret one, it's like, they say go get a battery, and it's like, okay, and I can see it on the mini-map. The fuck does this mean? You get the battery, you bring it to the spot where it's like suggesting you go, and then you get a turret for a while. And it's like, oh, okay, this makes sense. Now I want to actually play around this. And you learn kind of timings and things like that. With the next map is the freeze AoEs, I believe. Which that one, I don't think it very clearly tells you what they do. I think kind of gives a soft mention of it to freezing, but like the fact is it's an AoE stun. That's really, really good, and they recharge. So you kind of learn to use that. The last one is really, really subtle. And the fact that like you see Misfortune running around, but you don't know what the fuck she does. And you realize that she's a walking turret, basically. In detail, I mean, you get no tutorial, but you get some slight hints to make the players think for themselves. Yeah, no, that's kind of what I'm meaning. Is that, like, if barriers thing, it would... Okay, using the barriers as an example, saying we would do this, but if I was to add the barriers, how I would have it is that you go up to where you'd probably place a barrier, and it would have a pop-up going, hey, you don't have the resources required to build a barrier here, or something very simplified version. probably just giving you like a symbol of the resource with an X over it. And you're like, huh. Then you would maybe see it randomly on the map, go over it, you'd pick it up, it would be hovering above your head or something. Then you might run back to that location, then it would be like, has a tick, and then you hold your action key on it, and then you realize, this is what I need to do. You do it, and it builds a wall. Well done, you've now figured it out. I've not told you anything other than, like, you've walked over it, you've happened to see something. Oh, did the stream die? Is it just visually, or is it audio-wise? Can you still hear me? For a moment? Okay, that's weird. Yeah, I did see it freeze on my phone a little bit. I didn't realize that's what happened. That was weird. Nothing happened on my end. YouTube? You good? It doesn't look like anything happened on Restream's end. Scared me. Fair. Very strange. Okay, where did what did we miss then? What was I saying that I missed? I was just like talking about the fence thing, how I would do that. I don't think anything really was lost about that statement though. Just a rough idea on it though. About the mechanics. Yeah, I was just like, just the idea of it would kind of show you roughly, if you stood over the location, it would show you an X with the resource symbol. And then, yeah, if you found it around the map, you'd see it, you'd walk over it, it'd pick it up, maybe hover above your head, you go back to that location, and then you'd see that with a tick, and maybe a thing to indicate press the interact key. You hold it, you press it, you'll see it that needs you to hold it down. You hold it down, you build the wall, and well done, you figured it out. That's how I would do that sort of thing. In my eyes, that's how you should do those sorts of things, to kind of hint at the player, this is what you have available as a thing. Not gonna actually tell you to go get a build the fence, but then you can kind of figure it out from there. And then you'll start getting to this point of, now I want to go find where all of them are. Because I'm not giving you a mini-map, I'm still kind of in the weird spot with mini-maps where I'm not sure I want to give a player a mini-map, because I feel that that doesn't give you... Okay, actually, no, let me correct. I have considered a mini-map as a fucking assist ability. Not as anything else. Not as a, like, system thing, but, like, as how, like, Shy Lily has her pointers to locations, I've considered actually giving you an assist that's just, you get a mini-map. I think that's kind of funny if I did. I think that would be really, really good. It's like you get this character and it's like, what's your assist? You give the mini-map. It's like, bitch, now I want to run this on everyone. I mean, a small map. Oh no, I'm talking mini-map like the locational thing, right? The information. When I say mini-map, I mean that. The ability to view. Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying, like, I'd give that as a thing. That would be funny. But, like, as one mini-map for an Easter egg. I mean, like I've said, I've potentially give you maps for that, but the maps thing is a difficult one, because, like, keep in mind that I'm not gonna really have you selecting the map. The map's selected for you. So that's the big thing to kind of consider. This is value 4. An echo. So this needs to be split. Then the at question mark things 1 2 yeah. So make some condition for the minimap to get into the map roster, like talking to the barkeep enough times or something. I mean, like, that's why I say, like, what I would do if I was to add secret maps is that, yeah, it would be a condition unlocked and then it would get added to the pool, but I would probably have to add chance mechanics to how often it would turn up, and it would only turn up so often. Another thing don't think I've talked about this, but a consideration I've had is if we actually go to the maps, I think what we should be doing is actually making modifier lists, a universal modifier list, and then like modifier lists based on map. So there's ones that can only occur at this, because we're already going to be making enemy lists based on maps. So I think it would be cool to have like some modifiers that are only uniquely like for the planes, sort of thing. Or some that are like uniquely only for blah blah blah, right? Miyazaki Swamp, it's like randomize the swamps or something. I don't know. So that might be an interesting one, because it means that I could also like modify the inbuilt mechanic if I wanted to. Which would be really funny if someone like gets the modifier for a map and then goes, wait a minute, what the fuck does it mean by like that? Heavy TF2, no. I do like that, but no. Okay, what's it currently on my copy paste? Yeah, it's still on there. I mean, what am I doing? This could be so much easier if I just do it as a proper amount. There. Still can't believe you're awake and doing things this early in the morning. I get up at like 3 or 4 in the morning. What do you mean? We've talked about this before. This is the reason why I don't hang out at the evenings as often. I'm a wild person for that. 3 or 4? Yeah. No, I do. Why do you think I go to bed at like 7 normally? AM? Yeah. Like, my alarm goes off at 5, I'm always awake for it. I start stream at 8 AM because that's the earliest I'm allowed to stream. I would stream earlier. I know. It'd be like that. Could you allow like some map concept planning for you soon? You know, maybe. I mean, if you want to throw some stuff my way, I won't say no, Milo. But I can't say that I'd definitely use. You'd never catch me up before 6 unless I'm out hunting. Okay, that's fair though, right? I'm definitely in the weirdo category for my sleep schedule. Because, again, I wake up super early and I go to bed at like... The fact that 8 o'clock is late for me. If it's gone past 8, that's probably because I'm watching something and I've been watching something for like multiple hours. That's why, like, when I stay up later than that with Yol on call, it's like, I'm completely fucked the next day. Which was really funny the other weekend when I stayed up till, like, super late on the Sunday, drinking with everyone on call, because I had streamed the next morning at 8 AM. Which I think I got up and I literally said, I'm actually feeling good because I chatted with people, like... My body had its way through. It would be bedtime. Fuck hell. Yeah, no, I'm a wild person for that. If I had my way, genuinely, I would be like probably up by 4 or 5 and doing stuff like on stream at that point. Because I used to start streaming at like 5:30 when I was at the other place. Man. Yeah. Actual lunatic energy. And the wild part is, I've told this before to you, but like, I've never had an energy drink in my life. I do this shit naturally. Imagine getting up, not having coffee, nothing at all, at that kind of time, and just being on it. I don't drink energy. I've never had one, yeah. No, keeping that way as long as I can. It's gonna take a lot to convince me to have my first energy drink. I feel. You run on caffeine and spite. That's true, though. I think I do the spite part, I don't do the caffeine part. That's the thing. I just love this. Just, yeah, no. How do you live? Oh, well, you see, I have caffeine and I have spite, and it keeps me going. So, what? Let's see again. Let's see. Might be working on the observe. I wanted to do that too. Yeah. I mean, like, that's that thing, is I feel most people nowadays live off, like, several things keeping them going, and none of them are good. Actually, I had a... Oh my god, there's... so the Discord that I'm admin in, that I keep shit-talking all the time, fucking... The guy, the content creator it's for, he doesn't like alcohol, but he loves coffee. And he keeps talking about how it's just like, oh, there's no way you can justify alcohol to me. I'm like, well, I'm not gonna say that's a bad stance, right? It's completely fine to not like alcohol or not want to touch it. Your argument is not great when you're like, oh, coffee though. It's like, you do realize caffeine's not good for the body either, right? You're putting something bad into the body that you're not really meant to, and you're creating a kind of bad dependency most of the time. It's basically the same. Caffeine is pretty fine for the body. I mean, so is alcohol in right quantities. Same argument. Don't get me wrong, the quantity levels you can get away with on caffeine are much, much higher before it actually impacts poorly, but... So are cigs. Cigs are a completely different argument to me, because cigs are, while the other two can be bad for you in some regards, cigarettes can actually open up your body to more problems across the board and cause more problems. So that's something completely different. That's bad for that reason. It's hard to justify one, but... Wait. It would be... see, I got the Dreamer perk, yeah. Just, because I get headaches, I don't have to... Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Let's see, I'm checking on my work email, watching you printing some docs on your university. Once I get distracted for 2 seconds, then I have lost. Yep. I still want to try D&D one day. Again, played Baldur's Gate, really enjoyed that. Would like to play D&D. It's just... I feel like I'm one of the worst people for trying to organize those kind of times for, because I'm just going to be like, tell me a time, I'll turn up for the longest time. And be just like, I'll figure out my schedule around it. Want to. I know, we talked about it at one point, and again, we got pretty far with the planning, but not far enough is the issue. I really do want to do it though. It'd be fun. I'm sure we can get like a big group of us together to do it. I think the weakness we have is that like, there's no way we could do a serious campaign, right? As that group. It would have to be like absolute trolley nature going on. Work in progress campaigns, but we haven't started either. That do be like that, right? It is the difficulty of it, right? Wrote D&D for simplest yeah, no, that's saying those sorts of things to me is like, I will definitely be lost trying to figure out D&D campaigns. Serious campaign, because Melith did customize his character to Melith. Like, that's gonna be the thing, right? Is you wanna know, there's like a couple of characters I wanna do in D&D, and this will probably give you an example of what kind of person I am. So one of them I want to do is like a warlock clown that is actually just like eldritch being thing that uses eldritch powers to get hit, to like do his tricks. A straight up evil clown energy. That's one of the ones I want to do. The other one I want to do is a pop idol that's actually a barbarian. So they have like bard and thing. I don't know what the fuck I'll do for that. But like straight up, it's just normally like, oh, all this nice thing, but something happens and they just activate their rage automatically. It's an idol, but like in their spare time. Gonna lurk while playing Monster Underworld. Yeah, I just saw fucking Hightower also boot that up, I think. Yeah, you two are playing together. I see y'all. I see y'all. Grinding. The grind set. But yeah, no, just 100%. Those two characters are examples of ones I'd love to do, and why I would never be good in a fucking serious campaign. Because I'd be too busy trying to find a way to murder every NPC or something. But yeah, like Noam Chomsky, goddamn. It's the fucking wild stuff. I don't know. I refuse to play something standard anymore. That's the fun part of these sorts of games, is you're allowed to get away with creativity. So let me be creative, and the problem is me being creative is a bad idea. We've all seen what happens when I get character customization. That's never good. Let's see, Negro Dance, mage that casts magic, Russian roulette every turn, and a holy freeze. See, that is the shit that I like that. I like that. I should not be, like, Baldur's Gate 3, I played that mostly serious with my builds because it's a game, and it's somewhat how it is. But I still found, like, wild shit. I was one of those people that randomly found the, what was it again? It's that fucking one charm that adds, like, an additional shot to your magic missiles, and then there was the staff that, like, whenever you dealt an instance damage, you gain a charge of like lightning thing, and whenever you get to so many, it would expend it on the next damage. That was the build I just randomly found, and I fucking loved it. Look at boss, cast level 1 basically spell. See it get nuked. I like that. Make Carmen as a character. God no, I have some standards. I grind War Thunder, but the grind is the same. Dude, I grind Warframe. I'm not much better. I've been playing a lot of Warframe at the moment again. I've now got my second frame of the new frame building to go fucking feed it to my Hamlet. It's gonna be good. Playing is actually a JRPG system for tabletop games, so it's fits my friends well. We're super animal. That makes sense. The grind life. Yeah. I swear, the grind life, it'll never leave me. I played World of Warcraft, I grew up with that shit, man. I will never leave the grind life, for the grind life is part of me. D&D, but you play Guagura? How would you do that? Like, that's what you're gonna have to have, like, throwing weapon stuff and summoning shark? That's gotta be the powers, right? I don't know enough about D&D to see how legitimate that would be to do. My friends don't watch VTubers, so I'm thinking of actually adding VTubers as NPCs. That sounds fucking funny. Because it's just gonna be like, who the fuck is this Pekora character? What the fuck? Who is Shy Lily? Who would name themselves that? What do you fucking mean, or cat? Playing punches. That is actually fucking funny, though. The worst part is, right, is that you do these names, they're gonna not know who they are. They're gonna go, like, on YouTube randomly, and then just, they're scrolling through and they see, like, the name, as a highlight thing. And it's like, wait, you didn't come up with this character. It's like, no! Did I say I did? And they gotta be in character too, right? Like, it's their name, their visual style, and their just, like, personality. So you have, like, Crony in there, and she's just like, it's fucking all about perfect, and then, like, something about a Subway sandwich gets said, and just everything goes sideways. I need a priestess of Cosmos, and I just actually wrote an Ina. That's a great way of doing that. I like that. It's actually just really funny to me. value. It's 3. There we go. I need to have muskets in D&D so I can go for medieval John Wick. Oh no. Literally the fucking thing starts, your dog dies, and it's just like, uh-oh. Wait, how would you do that? It's gotta be like someone that's just all about picking up the weapons on the battlefield and killing people with them, right? I'm sure there's a way to do that in D&D. Be fun as hell though. I do really like... I mean, okay, so one thing I will say though, and this is like maybe my spiciest take with the D&D stuff, my aim would to be not to like just make a character. Like someone that exists. So what I mean by that is like, we were talking about the VTuber stuff, I would not just like find a VTuber and make them in the game. My spicy take. There's something, at least in the early ones, I don't like quite the idea of just going and like taking a character from media and going, I'm gonna make that. Not saying there's anything wrong with that, it's just my little thing of it. I don't know why. A weird one, but yeah, I like the idea of like that creativity with making the character. Don't get me wrong, I'd probably take inspiration from things. I mean, fucking evil eldritch clown isn't exactly the most original idea in the world, right? But not for non-serious D&D. Yeah. It's just so disconnected when I look at it. Custom monsters based on Slavic, gritty, edgy, anime century style, and then we have actually just people. That okay? See, now that's funny though, especially when it's NPCs. That's a completely different argument. Gotta fucking clean up over on Twitch. Wait, give me a second. Goodbye. Fucking delete the bot. And then block. I have so many of those things on like ban, the wordings on like ban list things as well. Do you have any idea? Actually, no, wait, I think, can I show this? Where is this? It's under streaming tools? No. Is it settings? Moderation. Blocked terms and phrases. Yeah, here we go. So here's an example, by the way. So I have just a few of these like blocked straight up. Look at how many occurrences they are, just casually. Goddamn bots. Hey, what are you doing over there? It's just wild to me. You'd think Twitch would have better detection for some of that as well. So yeah, I just have to try my best when I can. Oh god, that's a... oh god, this one's gonna be awkward to write. Join the fun club on Twitch. This is the fun part of having like the multi-stream. God, I love listening to so many people go like, it's not worth multi-streaming. It completely is. Why? Because it's fucking, I'm doing it for free and easily. Because everyone's like, oh, Streamlabs things for us. I don't use Streamlabs then. I've shown this before, but fucking... there's nothing that's gonna, like... Oh, there's that. I can't show that. Yeah, restream. I can show part of it, because otherwise it's actually gonna show my email. But, like, that. That's how you do it. It's super, super easy to set up. That's what this chat is as well. This is just Restream's chat. That's why I don't have to put in any effort to, like, somehow weave the YouTube and the Twitch comments together. It's all done for me, for free. You can only do, like, 2 platforms, I believe, for the free version, but, like, I don't need more than that, because, what, stream to Twitter? I'm good, thanks. Stream to Kick? I'm even more good, thanks. I have some standards. Just means that, like, when I start, I have to get, like, a bunch of, finicky stuff prepped. Because, I need to, like, tick all of the boxes and change the names everywhere and change the things. But it's not too bad. You remove the links to restream when you start stream? No, I don't. It's all nicely, cleanly, automated. Imagine accidentally dealing large chunk damage of your code and then oh no. Couldn't be me. Yeah, no, I understand that feeling. I understand that feeling well. You have no idea how often, like, there has been times on stream where I've wanted to rage quit this, like, programming. I'm pretty good about, like, not getting too visibly heated about things, but, like, boy, if I'm just going super, super quiet and grumbling out statements from time to time, like, very rarely, that's probably the indication I'm actually, like, annoyed. I'm just like, oh, this isn't working. Like, that's actually when I'm annoyed. Because I'm not a verbose, angry person. Unless I'm with a group, and then that's normally me just playing it up for dramatic effect and fun. It's fun to do that with friends. But I've talked about it before with the whole, like, I don't like horror games, but I play horror games with friends because if I play horror games with friends, at least I'm in an environment where we can have fun and I can fake being scared. Can't imagine me going full Aussie swearing. Okay, I'll have you know, New Zealand's not much better for full swearing mode, and when we just go, like, Noxie can attest to this. When we go, we go. We've even in that group, we've had some fucking times where it's real, just heated for fun reasons. The fuck you mean, you fucking... I can't say the rest of that because you're not allowed to say those words on Twitch, on YouTube, sorry. To be fair, that group's really good at saying things that I probably cannot repeat. 1984, goddammit. Nah, I've definitely had a couple of times where I've gone full, like, red face angry. And I will say I've had my outbursts from time to time, but they don't let us swear like mates, yeah. It's annoying having, like, casual words that I would, well, words I would consider casual being banned on YouTube. It screws me over. Means I can't say, like, way too much of my vocabulary. Especially with Billy Butcher fucking making it popular in the rest of the world now. Or more popular than it was. There we go. All right. So this is value hashtag. So 0 hashtag percent. You remember my fucking denoting keynotes things. What's the game? What's the game's most let's go gambling item for now? What is the most gambly? I mean, Mary is the most gambly by far, right? Was mid-fight, had to say you're not wrong about the group. Yeah, there you go. I had to figure that was probably the case. But yeah, no, that's that group sometimes. Some of the things said, oh boy, fun, but oh boy. Well, yeah, I'd say like Mary's. Would it be Mary's item or Mary's passive that's most gambling? Sometimes. Okay, fair. Majority of the time, at the very least. Yeah, no, I'm just thinking of certain times where we've talked about things and it's just like, yeah. Oh boy. This is why, so this is the hot take I have. This is why I don't stream with some groups of friends that I have. Not because I don't want to or I'm scared. It's because I don't want to inhibit them from their fun. And don't want to get banned at the same time. That's why one of the other groups I used to play a little bit with and play on stream, it was always an ongoing joke of like the moment the stream would stop, one of them would just scream like a word that was not allowed. I'm like, oh, just need a censor button. The button's gonna get broken by the end of one stream, let's be honest. I don't think I'm gonna censor fast enough as well. I was in Italy for a few days. Apparently me cussing in Polish scared the mugger that was approaching me. So I'm getting arrested later and I was told him. That's actually so funny. Man's like, you know what? I'm not dealing with that fucking today. I'm good. That's actually so good though. Swear like a sailor, you'll be fine. Clearly that's what I've done wrong with all of the times I've been fucking mugged in my life. Or attempted mugging. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. I love how that I have to count basically every time because I'm stupid. It's good. Alright. Ooh. Getting mugged in your town? No surprise. You live there as well. Don't try. To be fair, I've told you where I like lived when I was younger, and also where I lived last. I have never lived in a really great place. I need to learn to like find a better region to live in. One day I'll live in like, at least not the poor areas. Maybe the like not rich either, but like at least maybe. We have too many stories of it. Yeah. Yeah. Spicy times. Spicy times. Oh, that's what's wrong there. I see the missing comma. I recommend a comically large flashlight for self-defense. My US friend said that it's a 10 out of 10 legal measure. Still mad about that thing I let you... Wait, which one was that? I'm trying to think now. What was it? What was the thing that I borrowed? Borrowed and not returned? I'm trying to think. I don't want to embarrass you. No, go right ahead. Don't test me. I've said pretty dumb stuff on stream. The black dress. I didn't borrow that from you. I bought that one. Did I? Yeah, no, I bought that one. I'm pretty sure, didn't I? Now you're making me question that. I bought most of my dresses. One with the holes on the side. Was that yours originally? I sure that I bought that. Oh, I loved that dress. That was a good one. Holy shit! I didn't realize that. Oh god, it was, yeah. I fucking forgot. Oh god, yes. I swore that like a fucking queen, though. Don't even try me. Seen a giant boar at night while walking home at night in the evening. Nah, I've worn dresses a lot. Yeah, I've talked about I talked about the time where I did cross country in heels on stream. That's great. I mean, I still have my rule of thumb. Give me something to wear, I'll wear it if I can fit in it. I have no reservations. I have no sense of, like, embarrassment for that stuff. I did what? Yeah, I did cross country in heels. If I recall correctly as well, like, it was, like, pretty tall heels. Like, they were fucking awful to walk in, by the way. And, like, the... fucking asshole. I was not expecting to just see that ping over there. God damn. But no, I remember having, I think I also wore tights for that, and they just got completely destroyed. To be fair, how long was that cross country? That was a decently length one. Ties. Oh yeah, it's like tights. The fucking things you have on your legs. Those ones. I've got hairy legs, so it's probably wise I did that, because they had like a slit down the side. 3 or 4K? Yeah, it sounds about right. Because it was the whole... It was... Because what? It started over by... the car... like the pool area, right? Goes around there, went around the front, then went like through the... up a little bit, through the courts, around that field, then around the back end field, and then like around through the netball courts, and then like through there, up that other field, and then like all the way back. It was a decently chunked Oh yeah, and then you went through the pit as well, that was it. Am I secretly a femboy? Honestly, I do not have the body shape for a femboy, I wish. I'm way too stocky, even now when I'm like skinny as fuck. Like my arms are way skinny. Not secretly, yeah. Exactly. No, I wish my shoulders weren't this broad. That'd be fucking great. I'd get way more drinks than I currently do. Chonky femboy. Oh god, no. That is not the description I want attributed to me. No. That is a concerning one. That is a very concerning description. Oh, Lord. What I'm hearing is the next time I'm in town, I gotta like go to the op shop again and try and find another good dress. Do a stream in that. Because like the Save Mart there, you could normally find decent dresses for pretty cheap. You owe me one? I do owe you one. I wish I still had it. I did have it for the longest time. I don't think I have it anymore, sadly. I mean, I would have given you that corset one that I had. Do you remember that one? They had like the fucking, like the red and black to it. That was a fucking intense one. I hated doing a corset. That built-in corset could hurt me. Shit, yes. I still remember I was walking around in that one and like someone genuinely, like off to the side was just like, wait, are you a guy or a girl? And I just responded with, what do you, like as deep as I could, what do you think? It's like, the fucking, you could just see the sheer like brain ticking over. It was great. I had no shame. I had no shame at all. And I still don't. That's my girlfriend, Malice. Trying to dress look. Yeah, exactly. I am like the worst for that shit. I just do not care. My energy is the chaotic kind for that stuff. Value 0 hash %. Nah, I'm too single to be able to pull off looking like I have a girlfriend, let's be honest. Do you think with this here? Dude, this hair's longer than most girls now. It's great. My friend trying some minor damage to his vocal cords. What? Can shake the earth with his voice if it— oh my god, that's insane. You're the definition of everything's possible if you're brave enough meme. Yeah, no, 100%. There's a friend of mine on one of the discords I had, the one that I'm admin for, that like he's bought me games and stuff, and he's made the joke of he loves buying stuff for people to torture them. And I've had to tell everyone, do not tell him my rules, because if he knows my rules, it's gonna end up really bad. Anything goes, anything. No limitations. Oh, he got the fucking clip! No! Wait. Wait a minute, I need to have a look at this. Chonky femboy. Oh god, no. That is not the description I want attributed to me. Oh, of course you clipped that. Oh, lordy lord. Oh. Forever to be remembered. To be fair, not my worst moment on streams. Adding to the sound. No! I swear to God, I'm gonna fucking pop in and that's gonna be the first thing I fucking hear, isn't it? If you tell everything about yourself, I'll probably lose faith in humanity. That's fair. That's completely fair. I honestly... Yes. I am a great example of losing faith in that. I got stories. I know you've got some stories. Dude, I was a little shit back then, I'm gonna be honest. Because I've gotten so much better, right? To be fair, high school was alright. Well, right, it was. It really was, especially with the groups we hung out with. Oh no. Oh god. Oh no. There are some wild ass stories. I mean, I still remember when we were just like comparing what we got at the end of school, and it's the fact that I got a mug and like some treats and you got fucking none. Get a pat on the back. Shows the school really cared about us. Still jelly, yeah. I need to remember if I ever invite you over. I need to hide this fucking cup. Don't want to get it fucking smashed. This is my revenge. We got a USB and yeah. To be fair, wasn't it also really dog shit as well? Because that's what all those USBs were at that time. Man, trying to explain... Like, USBs nowadays, they're either complete dog shit or they're like... You get basically a miniature computer on a flash drive. It's insane. All the cool kids got the jackets and hoodies, yeah. Nah, we had to fork out for that sort of stuff if we wanted to kind of get something close. But no, of course, gotta get a named hoodie for fucking free. Fuck you. I hate that shit. I gotta hop on call after this and nerd herd unite, exactly. I'm gonna hop on call after this and fucking shit talk, aren't I? I can see it already. I have like one beer left too, fuck. $128GB versus 128MB pen drive. You got the second one. Oh, God. Yeah. Oh, that's the wrong way around. USB not working, just flip it over and me, for some reason. That's a wild one. To be fair, I still have like, I think a 32 gig flash pen drive somewhere that I bought like 7 years ago and it's still pretty good. And it was just like in one of the bargain bins at fucking Dick Smith or whatever. Back when Dick Smith was still in New Zealand. I remember. I think it's still in like Wellington and shit, but it's all like pretty much Australian store now. Patriot Farm remembers. I mean, I still remember chatting the other day at like the fish and chip shop when we were talking about like, me and this random person were talking about fucking how much stuff used to cost. Because you do that, right? And we got into that whole thing. Like, I remember you walking down the street, you see like a fucking $5 note in the gutter, and you're like, I'm eating like a king for the next like few days. I'm gonna go to fucking like Macca's, I'm gonna get like a full fucking couple of burgers and shit, or I'm gonna go to the dairy and get like fucking almost a few kgs worth of fucking sweets. It was great. Oh, I miss those days. Back when we still had 5-cent pieces as well. That was really... Got a micro SD from 2015, still work. Honestly, yeah, like that's the thing. You don't need to replace that stuff very often. They work for a long, long time when they work well. Another 5 BRB, all good. Have fun exterminating the indigenous wildlife. Remember, I had my first PC for like 6-7 years. What was my first? My first personal computer had like 2 gig of RAM, I think. That was the first one I bought. It had like 2 gig of RAM. It had like, I think a gig CPU. It was this old fucking shitty secondhand thing that I got. It was so cool. I could play Minecraft on that shit in the later stages. It was good. But no, I grew up with like DOS computers and shit. Fucking DOS, dial-up, all the good stuff. I still get nostalgia everyone. Wait, I need to pull up the nostalgia. We all want to hear the nostalgia, right? Where's that one website? There we go. Triggered all the nostalgia just then. Downloading the next episode of whatever. Hearing that shit. That was good. I remember I told you about it, but I need to add 2 things. My dad brought it from friends' work. And second, I struggled so much to run TF2 on it until I discovered potato level configs. Like, oh my god, yeah. No, I actually remember there was the era of time where I wasn't used to like options that would reduce quality. So I was always confused. It's like, how do I make this game like actually run on my computer? And it's like, just lower the fucking settings, you dumbass. God, how many games I played on like 5 FPS that I could have probably played on 30. Well, at least 30's pushing it. 30 is definitely pushing it. Yeah. I mean, I still have my original Xbox, PlayStation 2, Xbox 360, and then my PS4's next to me. Kind of want to play some of like the old console stuff one day. It'd be cool. Still sad because I really want to play was it Primal from PlayStation 2? I fucking loved that game. That and Scalar. Those 2 games are great. I probably, outside of like, I think those were probably the ones I sunk some of the most time into. Fucking loved playing them. Well, those were my PlayStation 2 ones I did. I also had a Ben 10. Wait, do I still have them? Give me a sec. Here we go, here's some of my PlayStation 2 games. So, we have Primal and like a fucking save game thing from EBs. Yeah, that's the game. I love this game. This disc is scratched to fuck, by the way. We have Spider-Man 2. I remember playing that one and enjoying it. Jax 3. Played that one a fair bit. It was one of my like big completionist games that I played. Battlestar Galactica. Fucking loved this one. Absolutely adored playing that one. I unlocked everything for that one. And then The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. I forgot I played this. And then there was the other games that I used to own, but I traded them into these ones. So, yeah. Like Scalar. I still regret that to this day. I love Scalar. Then I have like some original Xbox ones in there as well, and my 360 games. Oh god, my where's wait. Oh, I suck at getting this because it's mirrored. There we go. A little bit of my hair sticking up because I'm fucking running around like a lunatic. Alright, Gang Grid. Let's go. But yeah, era of potatoes. Nowadays, most developers don't design with the intention of like potato computers in mind. I don't know, not fully. I mean, AAA studios just don't give a shit. But that's because like that's kind of the expectation with AAA. Indie games are a bit better for it, I'll admit, but still. So one of the things that we talked about a lot when we were doing the game degree was how there's an argument to be made that it's not that it's like unoptimized per se, as long as it doesn't memory leak or anything like that. It's the tech hasn't caught up. And that's a horrible argument that exists. That's what AAA Studios has a lot of the time. Is the tech just hasn't caught up to where we want you to be yet to make this game run cleanly. I got the most troll way to earn good money for you? Oh no, dare I ask? If it's something about like OnlyFans, I'm gonna immediately shut you down because I've already been told that. Dude, I've got a dad bod. I would not do well on OnlyFans. I've got a good poo-poo going for me. Bro destroyed my joke. I'm sorry. I'm good at ruining jokes. You know, some people are into that. What was that fucking study like 4 or 5 years ago that was saying like dad bod was becoming like the more attractive male physique to the majority, and I was just like, that is wild to me. I'm not saying that's wrong, it's just that's wild. Everyone's had enough of the over-sexualized hot looking guys, I guess. Like, look, I think we all have our tongue wag a little bit with someone like Chris Hemsworth, but like, yeah, no, I guess we're all at the point where we're just kind of drowned out by them. That's such a stupid statement. How does this function? So it's 3%. The stream will become history. I dread every stream I have. That one day it's gonna be like dragged up. Too much stuff. Like, I'm gonna be honest, this is definitely on the lower end of some of the stuff I've leaked about myself. I don't know if I like that phrasing. But no, like I've talked. I'm an open book, which to my detriment. Gain. So it increases by 3 each time. Gain. I think my problem with all the stuff I talk about on stream, though, is like the concern that I'm gonna run out of things to, like, spicy stories eventually. And have to start going into the extra spicy ones, which is a bad idea. My brain wants me to ask you some vile questions. I must repent. Oh no. Value, so that would be 5? I can help with that. Oh boy. To be fair, not my most vile stories at high school. I've got some bad ones, and we've definitely got some bad ones for the groups that we had. But like my most vile stories still are mainly intermediate and mainly when I was working at Macca's. Those are probably my most vile stories off the top of my head. Freaky school. High school was wild. Like, there's a lot of things that just, like, no matter how you phrase it, it's just gonna come off bad from what happened at that high school. And that's not even stuff that was related to the groups we were in, that was just the high school. That high school was very, very bad. It was bad. How many girls you tried to pull at high school, for instance? Oh, now that's a dangerous one to go into. It was definitely more than one. I'll say that. And it was definitely more than one success. Again, very stupid times. Don't give me that expression. It wasn't anyone in those groups, I will say, in the other groups that we were in. Fucking... None of that oval bullshit here, no. Y'all asked me out in high school, I didn't understand what she said and I thought she was joking 2 years later. Ah, I think we've all had those moments. Okay, now I'm okay with that kind of a face. Those faces are cute. Now I am and forever will be alone. Nah, it's not that bad, come on. But I do, yeah, no, we've all... I feel like everyone's had that, like, moment where they look back and go, wait a minute. Hang on. At least nowadays, I recognize it, I just still don't act upon it, because I'm fucking just not in the mood. I talked about this the other day on, like, I say the other day, this is like a month or so ago, when I went to stay with a mate, I went to stay with a mate, we went to the fish and chip shop, and the guy at the counter there was, he was kind of cute, and he was definitely hitting on me. I should have asked for his number. If I was able to go to Wanganui more, I would have definitely asked for his number. He was cute, though. At a moment in my life where a girl had a crush on me, nerd. Yeah. That's imagine a crush on a nerd. That never happens. Who would ever? Who would ever be interested in a human being that played like video games and stuff, right? Me realizing she floated 2 years. Yeah. Yep. Fucking flip the tables, always good. It's definitely, I will admit, it's not just men that screw this up, but there's definitely men talk about it the most. We are definitely oblivious at the best of times. Shit's hard to read, okay? It's like, you see one thing and it's like, is this or is this that? And then you second guess it so much that you're just like, yeah, well. Value 5 hash. I'm trying to remember this stuff. This would be plus 3%. Yeah. I'm trying to remember my own rules of code. How dare I? You need to go. You guys need to relax. Things come and go. I mean, yeah, but that's the thing, right? It's more making fun of that aspect. I mean, fuck, I've talked about this before, right? Like, I am not looking for a relationship for probably a good while at this point because of how badly my last one went. And I've talked about that ad nauseum on streams and stuff. Fuck, I streamed during all of that. That was the wild part. I'm not salty or sad. I was like 4 years, it was 4 years ago. Yeah, it do be like that. Wait, what is that? Oh, goddamn. Now it's just funny. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? Is I think that's how most of us reflect back on that, is we can just make fun of it. It's like, oh. I look back and I see it clearly now. I can see clearly now the rain has gone. Spear bear, so cute, my bro. Dude, it's spicy times. Speaking of spicy, did I mention that like I've now got my official diagnoses for spicy nostalgia? Let's go. Of course I say it in the stupidest fucking way possible. Lenny face. Oh my god, yeah, it's been so long since I heard the word Lenny face. Fuck me. Value There it is. There's the old school one. Still could not understand that when I was younger. But it's, what the fuck? Ah, there's so many of them. Who's Lenny? Fucking... I don't even know why it was called Lenny Face, I'll be honest. I can do this all day, Cap. God damn. I can do this all day. Yeah, I know. God damn it. Are we divulging into the era of hieroglyphics again? I still love that joke though, of humanity like gets fucking wiped out 10,000 years later or some shit. Shit gets dug up and it's like, they used to speak in hieroglyphics, see? And it's just all the emojis. The fuck does moe face poop emoji mean? Change of subject, comic books. Do we want to change the subject to actually, can I talk about a stupid fucking idea I had for a weapon? We go here. And literally, I was just like sleeping one day, like I was sleeping, woke up with this idea and I'm like, oh, this is a bad idea. Here it is, weapon, comical bat. It's a black bat with yellow accents. And it just swings, dealing damage and creating text like wham and kapow that deals small damage over time in the area. Yes, it's a fucking old school Batman joke. I hate myself. I thought it was hysterical. Dude, I loved Adam West. It was great. Best Batman. That's beautiful. I just think it's those sorts of memes that are gonna go like, nobody's gonna fucking figure it out. It's gonna be funny to me. Nobody's gonna care, but that's the best part. If nobody cares, then I'm the left. Left is the only one, and that's fine. Ooh, my heart doing the jivey thing. Ooh. Oh, I don't like that. Alright. Armor. You've seen Absolute Batman, new comic book where Batman is a buff construction worker who is broke. What? Wait, they made a Batman where he's broke? I mean, they've done it before, but that sounds cool. I like Batman, the idea of Batman being fucking poor ass and fucking downtown streets. Downtown streets? Fuck no. Google his design? I do want to. Wait, give me a sec. Let's see. Abs. Oh shit. Dude, he chonky. Man, big boy, look at this man. Look at this fucking lad. How many open windows? Let's see. Only a few. Can detach into. Oh my god, yeah, is that what this is? Holy shit. That is metal as fuck. Batman vs Berserk, honestly, not wrong. I kind of like this. This does look fucking kind of cool, gotta say. To be fair, I have a lot of tabs open, and I will always have a lot of tabs open. No, I'm someone that, so I've got like 5 browser windows open, and there's like, let's see, on this one there is 4, 5, 7, 8 windows, tabs, 3 on that one. There's how many on this one? 3, 6, 7 on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on that one, and 4 on that one. I organize myself very particularly. He has hooks on the cape to grab people and pull the... What? Okay, that sounds pretty good. I got 119 last... Oh, see, I'm never that bad. At the moment I start going above a specific threshold, I cull. I try and cull as often as I can, but if I go above a certain amount, I'm like, nah. Alright. Doesn't matter how important this is, this needs to go. I can look it up later. It's stuff that I want quick access to. So like YouTube, Twitter, create a dashboard for itch.io, things like that is the stuff that I'm like, no, I 100% have this open so I can just tab to it very easily. My emails, things like that. 60% of YouTube tabs. Use watch later. It's a fucking single button. You can set it to a thing. How can you? No. It's worse because now I think about like the boot up sequence for that shit. Because then you're gonna have to go through like all of those tabs and ensure that they don't just start playing if you restart your computer, which the worst part is you're gonna next tell me you don't turn your computer off very often. Just gonna scare me. I'm bad with this computer, but this computer was designed to be a workhorse. This computer can run easily for like a month unstopped. That was always the intention, originally. Now it's devolved into me wanting to just get something that's bulky and good, and I turn it off like every night. Like I do with this one. I actually remember one time where that was a big deal, as I wouldn't turn it off for months on end. It was great. Alfred is not a butler, but a mercenary who was hired to unalive Batman after a fight. Oh, that's kind of cool. Melted like 7 hours of gaming. Yeah, I mean, 7 hours of gaming does sound like it would melt most computers. Oh, especially a laptop would be probably a big thing. But like, yeah, no, fucking, oh, imagine a laptop. Dude, imagine Alienware with that shit. There's a reason why Alienware sucks ass now. I love how, like, there was genuine the era where everyone was like, nah, Alienware's the best. Alienware's not the best. It's never really been the best. It was just the cool looking one. Fuck Alienware. Suck. Hot take. My fucking, yeah, no, that's, of all the controversial statements I've said today, I think that's going to be one that's going to piss at least one person off somewhere. They're going to be like that one fucking Alienware stand where they're like, no, how dare you, Alienware's amazing, I just have to not have it on my lap and ensure that I have an ice pack nearby. Oh, and I always have it plugged in when playing game because otherwise the battery's going to run out in like 5 seconds. It's a fucking laptop. Wild to me. Wild shit, man. I looking for? 5. There we go. And it needs to be percent. Combat, get it? Because we're talking about Batman. Alienware users, 99% of people who wanted to play Payday 2 TF2 promo. Yeah. That I'll agree with, actually. There was some cool like stuff early on with getting that stuff. Remember when like companies did those kind of cool brand deals? I don't think they do that anywhere near as much now. I think like Nintendo is the one that does that stuff the most. Because I don't think actually, that's a question. Have we gotten like custom collector edition versions of consoles, like the PlayStation 5? I've not seen it, if we have. But I've genuinely not seen it. To be fair, there's just still not enough PS5s out in the fucking rotation, really. I think they're now past that point. For that New Vegas TF2. Yeah. Yeah, it do be like that. Health and that. New Xbox don't have the these custom casings this often nowadays. Yeah, like that's kind of what I mean. It's like I'm pretty sure there's not really those things now. I 100% agree though. It's kind of sad. I miss those days. I still remember like Halo Xbox 360. One of my mates had it. It was fucking cool as hell. I mean, to be fair, both of my Nintendo consoles are special editions. Because I think I've shown this before. But this is my Switch. And if you look at the fact that the controllers are weirdly both red and stuff, this is was it the Super Mario Galaxy or whatever the fuck it was again? It was the special edition for that. I fucking was so happy that I got that because it's just a better color. I've never played the game. I just think the color's better. And then my Nintendo 3DS XL, which, oh god, the games are fun, is this one. Which, I don't think I can show it easily. Can you see that there's a pattern there? Yeah, you can see there's a pattern. It is the Fire Emblem Fates special edition. Which I was real happy with that. The choice: white, cringe, black, cringe, third secret of option, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Yeah. Nah, I miss the old stuff for that. But yeah, like I don't think PS5's done it at all. I think it's all like just wraps that you buy online from third party, right? And they're pretty fucking trash. Okay, I'm just gonna quickly launch the game to see if we've not like caused a problem along the way. PS5 Pro. I still don't have like PS5 stuff, and I don't really care about it. Okay, that's correct. So we've not done Aura. We've done you. You are okay. Cool. I know that's wrong. That is just simply me missing a thing somewhere along the way. Where did I miss it? What? I think I got that all correct. Clearly I'm not, but... That's a weird one. You are a VTuber? Am I a VTuber? Imagine. This is a high quality VTuber model if it was. The flesh tuber. I still don't like that phrasing. Always feels really weird to say it that way. So where does this like thing go out of sync? This should be correct, right? Unless it's this one that I've messed up. I'm pretty sure I got that right. Will you someday commission someone to do a live 2D model? I mean, I've said before, I'm not against the idea. I've definitely considered it a fair bit. But I just don't see a substantial reason to do it anytime soon. Skill description. 1. So that is this one, yeah. That'd be a wild model to get done. Yeah, I mean, I've said before, like, if I wanted to get one done, I have a design for it, but ooh, I see where I've screwed up. This is definitely a screw up here. Is that the thing that's breaking it? I'm gonna run this in debug so I can see exactly where it broke. So Mary's is breaking. We know Mary's is breaking. That's fine. Okay, Mary crashed the game again. No, it didn't. So that was probably the issue. Gain 1 random buff, 20% every... I mean, that could be phrased way better. In killing enemies, have a 10% chance to send out an ink doggo to deal 5. So that's correct. Shay Lily, have not got to her. You puntable. Summon a baby moth to float around you and echo 1 random equipped weapon every 5 seconds. 1 equipped weapons. Change that. 2 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. I could probably go to the yellow. And reduce enemy movement speed and increase damage taken by 10%. Enemies have a 5% chance to drop either restore 20 health or grant 10% damage. Yep. Cool. For the most part, all of that is correct, outside of, like, the occasional I'm missing a space thing, which is kind of to be expected. It's hard to keep track of everything. Yeah, there's that space that I was missing. Oy. Oh, I hate this part of doing the programming. I really do. Just repetitively, like, tweaking the small little things. We're over halfway through, really, the characters, I think, though. Because we've done caissons, so that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of something a bit over 10. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, exactly 10. So we're doing well. And the fact is that these are the last ones to do. So this means on the end of today, tomorrow, I can probably have most of the patch ready. So we might release the next patch on Monday. Means it'd be like 2-3 weeks since the last patch. Wild times. But no, that'll be good. Alright. I'm gonna call it here because I'm actually starting to feel really fucking hungry and I kind of want to just relax in a little bit. So I think almost 4 hours is a pretty solid amount of time. With that being the case, thank you so much for watching. Does this toggle work? Yes, this toggle still works. Chonky femboy, don't chonky femboy me. Not again. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. You're awesome. Stay awesome and hope to see you again next time. Till then, bye-bye. Oh wow, thanks Stream Software for lagging there. That looked really great.